Hello, everybody. I won't light up because I'm currently deaf in Discord. But hello and welcome. It's D&D episode 1. It's D&D episode 1 with the Gobs and Grams. Everybody's here. It's going to be insane. Hello, Gragul, Jub, Garner's in chat, Aquatics in chat. So for those who haven't been to a D&D stream on this here channel before, this is the first one. This is the first of this campaign. We'll hope we're going for a long time. The Gobs and Grams. Be a little bit fluid for a little bit. I have muted alerts in Tangia so that they don't disrupt the flow of the game. I apologize for everybody who loves them, but I think everyone can understand. But anyone who does any like bits or any of those things, I will still acknowledge it. I'll just acknowledge it at the end rather than during. Okay. But I'll go over and I'll unmute everybody so that everybody can start doing a chatter. You can see the overlay and all these things. And then we'll get in. But we'll have like a bit of an intro. Everyone can introduce themselves, and then we'll start proper. So here we go. Wow, we've already got a bingus written. So I'm going to unmute everybody. They're caught in the act, by the way. Look at this. Look at this chat. Okay, everyone. You are now. Oh, I'm deafened. You're now unmuted, everybody.
Yeah.
And visible.
Ah,
My God.
There you all
oh
are.
no.
Oh, look at us.
Oh, we used an
Oh,
invisibility
we're so
spell.
cool.
Yeah. The only thing I've just realized that I didn't do correctly with this overlay is because I didn't make all of your boxes transparent, it means that my beautiful little connecting thingies for everyone is actually under all of your pictures, which will be addressed literally after the session.
Oh,
I connected everybody with like this beautiful yellow line motif that I've got going on, and it didn't work. But
Oh.
yeah, it's fine.
No, it's the special
Aw.
one.
Okay, not even joking. So if I put that box at the bottom here, like with everyone else in line, and put G&G below
Mhm.
moi, it literally fills the space perfectly, like to the line. It looked terrible.
Wait, why is wheat frozen?
It is frozen.
Mine is
Yeah, I mean-
too. Oh
no.
yeah.
Oh yeah, all of the webcam.
Is it because you don't have Discord in focus?
What's that?
Oh, man.
There you
It
go.
could be. Ah, there we are.
Now Discord's in focus.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
I unminimized it. Do I need to not keep it minimized?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can probably put a tab in front of it, but I think you can't.
Yeah, I think you put a tab in front of it, can't minimize.
That's good to know. We will do that. We will make sure we do that. Right. Okay, everybody. So, does everyone want to do an introducing of themselves? We'll go. I guess we'll go because Nemet's in the special box, right? So we'll start with Nemet.
Extra box.
Can't really limit that special box.
I'm Nemeth. I will be playing on occasion Miles Sourgrass, a human fighter from a small fishing village.
There you go. And then Sim, and we'll go along that way.
Oh, we're going backwards. I'm Symmetric, and I will be playing Railsar Night Whisper, a half-elf who grew up in a few different places, but most recently, New Australia.
G'day. Then Aquatic.
Yeah, I'm Gina, also the Aquatic Tiger. I'm playing Raze, who is a changeling bard.
Ooh. Gone.
Hello, I am Gone. I am playing Xander, the Leonine War Cleric. I am a Knight of the Luminous Morn, serving under Sir Aldrich Haleman. I believe. I
Palimon,
think
but
that's
yes.
how you say it. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Good job. Okay, M.
Hello, I am playing Ilyana Farina in Ladrin, who was raised by humans. And I'm going to be playing as a sorceress.
Is Jack back from the bathroom yet, do you think?
Maybe.
I am Verity Farina, I'm a wizard in training, and I'm only here because my wonderful grandchild Liliana is getting into adventuring, and I just want to see what the kids are up to nowadays. Yes, I'm going back to my nap. Excuse me.
There you go. And Wheatus is also currently AFK, but Wheatus is also here. But we'll let Wheatus do an introduction once I get back. Oh, speaking of, perfect timing.
Oh, perfect timing.
Weeders, best timing ever.
Yeah,
Hello.
Yeah.
you get to introduce yourself now, Wheatus.
Oh, hello. I'm Wheaters9. However, character-wise, which I think is more what we're interested in. Or are we? Sorry, are we doing characters or are we doing me? Hello.
Yeah, you're doing both.
We're doing both.
Yeah.
You can do both.
Okay. Well, I've done me. Hi, I'm Wheaters9. Specifically with a 9. And character-wise, I am playing a character called Life, who in D&D terms is a Warforged character. And they are a paladin of redemption. So I'm here to save everybody from themselves.
Literally everybody. Okie dokie. So, with that, everyone's introduced. We'll set the stage and we will get the going. So, we are in a little place. Let me do a scroll in so you can see it. We are in this very, by standards of most places, we're in this small settlement of Brightvale. It's a town of about less than 1,000 people on the North Coast. It's quite remote from the rest of the continent of Therin, but all of our heroes find themselves arriving at this small destination by various means, various events leading them to this place. But we are in a time of crisis in this here continent of Therin. We are in the start of autumn in the year 10,834, since the gods have left the earth, which is how you keep track of dates in Kithmaros. This crisis has been precipitated by a very sneaky attack by the kingdom of Almeti to the south, the very southeast. They've sacked and razed the most powerful city in Dernia, which is the group of kingdoms to the south of where we are. The city of Kothenburg, which was once the largest city in all of Dernia, and is now definitely not. It's precipitated a power vacuum within Dernia, and being on the periphery, Brightvale has elected an emergency chancellor in order to deal with the current crisis, keep themselves safe and independent. They are not part of Dernia, but with the power vacuum, who knows what all these different dukes and duchesses are going to be up to in the coming year. A council has been called, a council of princes, 1 year hence. And when it meets, who knows? War may break out, a new king may be declared, anything could happen. But our adventurers find themselves on the periphery of this current situation. The great storms that batter the North Coast have brought some of their ships in. Some of them have traveled by land. Some of them may have been here beforehand. But whatever means, they are in the center of this small settlement, having received information about a recent arrival to this out-of-the-way place. A strange figure arrived in the center of town about a week ago, and she, dressed in very fine robes, has almost immediately left the town, muttering to herself. The community has many ideas of what it was she was saying, and headed for a lighthouse, sort of like a few hours outside of town, on try and guide ships in this very rocky shore. They've received this information. What they choose to do with it is up to them. But they will find themselves. Some of them might be in the inn tavern. We will do a meter. So there are several inns in town. If you wish to be in one, or We can meet in the center of town. That's up to the party. But that is the setting that we are at.
Ooh. I
Well-
like the ship in the background.
It's a wonderful ship.
Shipper.
I do wonder where would we be staying, Liliana? I'm kind of just along for the ride here.
I feel like we might have been like forced to come in via ship to the storm and are like just now trying to pick somewhere to go.
Oh, yes, that's true, actually. We have just landed badly.
Yeah, we just landed.
The storm's
Yeah,
coming in.
My character will probably be in the biggest tavern performing.
That would be the Wattled Whistle. I guess I can type that one so everyone actually has it. The Wattled Whistle. Ta-da! For those who want to take notes, of course.
Yes.
Yep, I was literally
Okay.
just about to try and write that down.
Oh, fuck, I need...
I need like a notepad.
You need a notepad. Oh no.
There's a journal thing in the game. In
Ooh.
the game, well, I suppose game. In this
What
game.
is that?
I'm realizing I can open my Google
One of
Drive.
the tabs at the top right, I've gone in there and made one
Journal.
called Life's Memory. So
Life's
There's also
memory.
rat. I see one called. Yeah, I see two.
There's a rat girl.
I see.
Oh, have I not deleted old notes? Let's get rid of that. You won't need that.
Rat guild.
You won't
Yes,
need
the
the
rats.
You won't be needing that RAT guild. That's from a different campaign.
What was
Hog-
the tavern called?
The Wattled Whistle.
Not the wetted whistle. Okay.
We're going
No.
there.
Wattled. Yeah,
We-
there's
we go
two.
in there,
There's two
everyone.
inns in the town. One is the Wattled Whistle, and the other one is the Grinning Ironmonger. The Grinning Ironmonger is more of a rough and tumble sort of affair.
Yeah, you'd probably hear like beautiful music coming out of the wattle whistle.
Yeah. Just get to the shore. It's still storming, right?
Is it beautiful
Yes.
though?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
Farida, we should go in there. That looks like a very welcoming area. We need to have some food and get a room. We need to wait out the storm.
You might.
Much better than out here.
Yes,
I don't know why you thought this was a good time to go sailing.
Well, it's the best time for training. Also, I'm not very good at predicting the weather. My study is...
Training in the middle of a storm.
Well, it's difficult. You're right. You're right. Let's get inside. Let's get inside.
Oh, goodness.
That's where we're going.
So is
Yeah,
everyone gonna
yeah,
meet
we're
at the
going.
Wattled Whistle? That's fine with me if we want to just do the
Sure.
classic meet in a tavern on a stormy night in a tavern. What's better?
Why not? I may
I
have
think
no
so.
need of being indoors or food or sleep, but why not?
Yeah, well, actually, that's a good point, Wheatus. We should talk about life a little
Yeah.
bit.
Where are you in here?
So, when did you arrive here? Have you just arrived, or have you been here for a while?
I've just arrived of my own accord, stumbling out of the forest. Or should we say I walked on the bottom of the ocean all the way here? No, I'm not that immortal.
I love
that.
You're absolutely
how-
good if
Just
you want
walk
to.
out of the water right
Am I?
now.
I don't think I have water breathing, but
You don't have
You
to
don't
breathe.
need to breathe.
I don't have to breathe. Fantastic. Okay, I walked
Yeah.
along the bottom of the ocean from
Wait, you could
a
like
nearby island where I
pop
have
up out of the
recently
water
awoken.
next to us. Where we landed.
Oh, good heavens.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Stand
Entire
back,
way.
Ileana. There's a robot man.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, so I have a suggestion then. Maybe you walk out of the sea immediately as we're beginning to gather at the tavern. As in, you haven't been
That sounds
here
good.
beforehand at all. So, okay. So basically, people who are inside the tavern, you can decide who's inside the tavern. But as we see Verity and anyone else who's like with that party, like off the ship, going into the tavern, you hear a shout from the walls as one of the just like somebody, a local farmer, spots something strange coming out the sea, and you hear from the thing, "There be sea devils coming out, quick!"
Sea
And you see
devils.
there's a
Sea
commotion.
devils?
Devils, you
adventuring.
say?
Yeah.
Is this when we do an
We can turn
adventure?
around to look.
Okay, you lead the way.
Yeah.
I'll cover your rear.
Maybe you can actually get some practice in now.
I've never done a spell before. This will be exciting.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
And you see somebody
Yeah.
from this little commotion. They run up to the center of town and they start like jingling a bell. So anyone inside the tavern as well would also hear this bell outside, like ding ling 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 ling.
Yeah, I'd probably like hear that and just like stop playing to go and look what's going on.
Yeah, I would certainly come see what's
Yeah.
up. Lurk in the shadows.
Just have a look at what's happening.
Greetings, strangers.
Who are
I-
you?
What does
I
the big
come in
robot man look
peace.
like?
Like just basically like a dude who is in full armor. Only that full armor is their skin. You can't really make out
Right.
features.
Oh, I think I've
Oh,
seen
so-
one of these before. Don't they
So
do?
do they look
they
like a
provide
robot,
such
or could
services?
they be confused with just someone in heavy armor?
I think the lack of life in their movements, ironically, the lack of life in their eyes could perhaps give things away. I don't think you could mistake them for a person. Correct me if I'm
Okay.
wrong, Hog.
No, they come in many forms. Like they vary from like basically your metallic skinned human all the way through to beep boop. I am Destructathon 5000, which I assume you
Oh,
fit somewhere
God.
between those two.
I am not Destructathon 5000 people of town.
You're not stacked cardboard boxes sprayed with silver paint.
No, I'm not very square, fortunately. Maybe in terms of personality, I am very square, but in terms of appearance, no. In terms of
Okay.
appearance, I just look like a very armored dude, and you can tell it's not really armor.
Yeah. So one of the
Okay.
one of the fishermen who was sort of like closer to the affair, like to life walking out, sort of points over. The armor's haunted.
Oh,
My
goodness.
dear fellow, the armor is not haunted. I am here to redeem all. Tell me your sins, that you may be forgiven.
Oh, God, he's
I
a
am
preacher.
Jesus.
He's a preacher. Let's get him.
Verity. Do you know any spells like detect magic?
Oh, that's a good question. I can
Perhaps this could be your
comprehend
first chance
languages.
to try some spells.
I could comprehend some languages at him. I could try and charm him.
Just one
I
quick
could
thing.
clean him.
I think we can understand them already.
I can.
Oh, was it
witch
alright for
bolt.
me to already have the pearl for the identify?
Yeah,
No
no, that stuff's
Okay, just wanted to double check because I did put it in my inventory.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah. Also this is a good time to introduce the thing. I think I have to fix a bunch of people's character sheets for the languages thing. But while you can understand this robot is speaking in a very, like, to your ear, it sounds like somebody's kind of speaking out of time. So you can understand
sorry.
them. No.
My
Wheatus,
dear fisherman, could thou pleaseth tell me thine sins?
That's it sounds weird to everybody basically, but they are speaking similar to Therinese common. It's just that it sounds odd.
Interesting. Have I ever seen anything like this in the history books?
You can make a history check. First dice
Yes.
roll.
First roll. is
First
mine.
roll.
And it's to be a nerd.
Yes.
Yet
Perfect.
again. Where have I seen
Did
this
it go
before?
through? It didn't go through. It was 18.
I saw it. I saw
I saw it.
it.
Yeah,
You
I
saw
can
it?
see it in D&D Beyond, just not, it didn't come through
Yeah.
to Boundary.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's
well,
weird.
it's 18. It's 18. I didn't.
With an 18, and seeing as you are a studious personage of historical matters, you have never seen anything like this before. But there are two
Fascinating.
stories that could be something like this. You've just not seen this specifically. The first one is there are stories of periodically throughout history there are talented engineering sorts who claim to have created life, and not necessarily like Necromancer Frankenstein style. Some of them made mechanical life. They made machines that were able to imitate the functions of people, which this could be this. Or you also, with an 18 being so high, you also remember that there are some myths and legends that in the final days of the war before the destruction of Assyria, which is the like a major historical event in Therin history, there was supposedly armies of silver warriors, which this might be. So it could be two different things.
Interesting. I'm going to pull out a piece of paper and my ink quill, and I'm going to start sketching it. Fascinating, fascinating.
Be careful doing that out in this rain.
Oh gosh,
You
All
fool!
your paper is ruined.
I'm hunched over, probably up on my back. Quickly, frantically drawing. Quick, can you do some magic to make the rain go away?
I don't have the power to do that.
I don't know what magic does. It's fine. I'll get onto this bus stop. Give me a second.
This bus stop.
Fantasy bus.
Give me a moment.
Yeah.
So the
It's just like a carriage station.
yeah, the villagers are sort of like they've made a little defensive little wall around life. They are ill at ease with the presence of this strange metallic figure. Everybody else who was like in the tavern and stuff, like you can have come down at this point, like to the beach to see the scene of the communication.
The communication, if that is what it could be called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering my character's like travelled a lot around, would they have ever seen a creature like this before?
You can make a history check too.
Okay.
You
Second
will
Yeah.
roll.
not. Anyone's welcome to make checks whenever they want.
All the
you-
rolls are history checks.
Yeah.
An
Get some
11?
first rolls in.
with an 11, no,
Yep.
you can't even necessarily recall any stories, like any songs or anything that talk about like metallic men.
Yeah, I'd like to see if I recognize them as well.
With a 7,
I don't think
No.
so. No.
What a fascinating dice rolling noise that was.
Yeah.
Makes me want to hear it more.
You'll hear it a lot because I genuinely have looked at settings to how you turn that noise off, and I do not know where it is on D&D Beyond to turn that off.
That was the
Right,
first
Or
time
you
I
could just
actually
mute the tab.
noticed
Have you
hearing it.
seen something like this before already?
Well, I've heard legends. There's lots of fascinating historical accounts about such silver men, but they all conflict with one another, and there's nothing truly concrete. It's some say they've been spotted like fighting great battles of history. Others say
Battles?
some pricks have like invented them many times, but they don't. No one has ever actually seen them before. This is truly incredible. I'm gonna walk up to him. I'm gonna walk up to the automaton just
Wait,
drawing it.
Did anything specify how dangerous they can be? Wait.
No, I'm not sure. Give me a moment. I need to get closer.
I'll remind everybody, one of the stories that he remembered was that they were silver warriors.
Do I
All
know?
All right, he's already forgotten.
I want
Yes.
I
Yeah,
want to get closer. to
Eliana's
this.
just gonna like rush after him, like, "Oh, you fool! What are you doing?"
It's okay, Eliana. It's okay. It's okay. So I'll be
My
fine.
friends, such suspicion is beneath you. Please treat the newcomer as you would a friend, and
Can I
we may
touch you?
all reach peace.
I wish I'd touch you.
What?
May I touch you? Do you emit heat?
What?
Do you have flesh in there somewhere?
Why do you leave me alone? He's crazy, man. I have changed my mind.
I'm going to give him a touch. I'm going to touch his,
Townsfolk,
touch
please
his armor.
address your
Why- why
suspicions
don't-
here.
why don't we head to the tavern, Veretti? I'm sure it'll be much nicer in there.
I wish you'd call me Grandpa. But it's okay. I know I haven't been there much.
Life just sees this and just turns around and walks back into the sea.
My time is not yet here. This world is not ready for me.
First person they meet.
Come
No.
on, Grapes. You haven't had your nap today. Come on, let's go to the tavern.
Before I go, Silverman, is there any? Do you need any sustenance of some kind? I could buy you a drink, perhaps. If you could just
No.
let me pick your brain. I'm
Definitely
fascinated
not.
by you. Some food, perhaps.
I do not require food.
Yeah, but would you like some?
Somehow I doubt they eat.
There is nowhere for it to go.
So there is no flesh inside. Very interesting.
I did
I
not
don't
say
move.
that.
I'm staring at him.
Hmm.
I pull
You
out a
can if
snack
you-
bag of nuts.
You should not treat the newcomers as such. I like how my dot on the map is in the ocean. Anyway,
Fascinating.
I
Suppose
You have a
pleasure.
perception of newcomers and oldcomers. You're very
Excuse me.
interesting.
A lot of comments.
I do apologize for my grandpa. He's very eager sometimes.
Fascinating, but Ileana, it's fascinating.
So as
These
you're all
nuts are
having
delicious.
this interrogation of life, some of the villagers have gone and collected a person. Those who've been in the town would recognize them. They're in armor. They carry a halberd and they have reasonably fancy attire. But this is Constable Boloff, Bolof. I can spell that. They are a dwarf. And they have been collected by the villagers to come and to do something about this intruder. So Boloff comes down to the bridge. What's all this? What's going on down here? Who's this?
Fascinating.
Hello, sir. My name is Life.
That's a bit of a strange name.
It is a goal.
Boloff
Have
sort of like
goals.
head tilt
Sorry.
question mark.
Yeah.
Very perplexed face. And this goal of life, what about life? Make new life? Destroy life?
Keep life.
Fascinating. Has a perspective on life.
Keep it
I have to write this down.
And none of you looking at the the newly arrived people that he doesn't recognize, and none of you this isn't your creation, pet. You brought it with
I
you.
wish.
Some sort of.
I wish it was my
Oh,
creation
no.
/ pet.
No, definitely not with us.
Now, Ileana, we're not so disreputable that they ride. It could be with us. We're cool too, right?
Boloff looks towards the villagers in kind of reassuring manner. Well, if you're coming to our village and you don't intend to cause any harm, then you'd be welcome to stay. But as soon as you cause any trouble, you'll be out in this rain again. I don't know if you rust or not, but you better get inside in case you do.
I think I don't. I did come here through the ocean after all.
Absolutely,
Came through
like
the
the
ocean.
crowd. There was a murmur in all of the villagers, like, "Oh, well, yeah, we're gonna do." And then as soon as you say that, there's just silence. Like, what?
I'm going to.
Sounds like an
pull my
exhausting
orb
hike.
out. Look at him through the orb. Give me a moment.
What?
He's getting his orb out, apparently.
Getting his
I'm
orb
looking
out.
at him through the
He's
orb.
gonna get arrested for indecency.
Give me one moment. I'm going to look at him through the orb, and as I do so, I'm going to reach out and touch him and cast Identify. See if I can identify.
Yeah, I was
this
just
thing.
thinking about doing that.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Do you prevent the touch life? Do you bat the hand away?
As long as I've identified it as non-hostile magic, I'll be fine with it.
Well, I have a strength score of -2, so it's basically like this tiny bony hand just reaching forward.
I love the idea of you just decking the old man. Everyone would probably clap.
It would kill me.
I'm the wrong kind of paladin
Dead.
for that.
Okay, so yeah, you cast Identify on a living being, and you get very confused magical results back because you get them all back. The school of
All
magic that animates Wheaters is all of them at once. It's not any
Interesting.
single source, but it's definitely magical. It's just that it's not like a magical object in the same way. It's a very confused read.
This is so informative, and I'm going to quickly write that down. Amazing. Well, put the orb away. I need to go inside and start writing up this paper. And I'm going to dart over to the tavern. I'm going to lift my robes up and skip my way over to the tavern.
One of the villagers shouts off, he's off to polish his orb, isn't he?
I polish it every night. You've got to make sure your orb's clean.
Ilyana just sighs. What's happening?
You now are
Can-
left with the normal people. Sim, yeah?
Can I Can I see if he has anything suspicious? Just visually, can I see if there's anything suspicious, or see what he's made of? If I recognize any kind of the metal or anything.
Yeah, I'd say you can do a perception, because I'm assuming you don't want to, sort of lift up his arm and look under and,
No, yeah,
start peeling apart bits of life and being like, what's under here? Yeah, so you can do,
just
perception.
I thought that was a 1. It's 10.
With a 10, I would say that you can tell that, it's clearly not sort of pretending to be metal. It's definitely metal. You can tell there's not any hidden living human bits inside it. But apart from that, there's nothing suspicious. What weapon do you have, Wheaters? And do you have it sheathed, or do you hold it when you walk or something?
I have a sheathed rapier and a shield. Noticeably visible, anyway. And some
Very
javelins
classy.
as well, but you can put them wherever you want. Javelins on my back, rapier at my side, shield also on my back.
Okay, yeah. So you just look like kind of you're carrying your equipment. It's not, marching around with a big staff. Yes, I am here. I'm a chess piece.
Yes. Yes, exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can tell that the state of my skin kind of looks, as one would see, similar to scale mail, but that's the best you can tell about that, I guess.
Nice.
Otherwise,
yeah.
it isn't very much a part of me.
There you go, Sim.
Okay.
Doesn't look suspicious. Well, I mean, okay. Yeah, doesn't look suspicious in the sense of clearly isn't hiding anything. Clearly is suspicious because Big Metal Man just walked out of the city.
Yeah.
Which is
I
not
don't
a
see
normal
any-
occurrence.
I don't see anything further suspicious beyond his appearance.
Yeah. As it's become sort of clear, the crowd is sort of beginning to drift away. Some of them curious where the wizard just ran off to. But Boloff is sort of well, you don't seem like a lad that's going to cause too much trouble, and sort of begins shepherding the assembled crowd back into town. But yes, you should definitely get in. This weather doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. And he sort of takes people
I
inside.
could use information. This place is unfamiliar to me, as are its people. Tell me.
I've come to port a few times here.
What has become of Hernicia?
That's a history check for anyone who wishes to answer that question, because none of you know where that place is unless you do a history check.
Well, I want that. I'm not there, so I won't be making that history check, unfortunately.
He's busy
I'm
polishing his
afraid that's a
orb.
bit beyond me.
14.
With a 14. Anyone else want to do history? Anyone who's trained in religion
Yeah.
could also do it for mythology reasons.
I got
All right,
22.
why not?
22.
Yeah.
No.
4. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Okay, with a 22, Aquatic, you remember an extremely old song, one of the oldest songs. It's a song about. It's a very, very it's a very sad song, but it's a song about Issaria before its destruction, before its death. And it's basically think of it like the Iliad. It's got a section of that song that lists things, because everybody loves the Iliad's listing section. And basically it lists a whole bunch of cities and places that all these different heroes and people came from in this massive, very hard to remember section. So you remember from this list of cities that Hernicia is one of the cities that sent soldiers to aid Goldana in its final years. So it's
Yeah,
a
I'd
city
probably
of myth.
walk over and start singing the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone can hear it and know what I remember.
Yeah, and all of these place names, these would all be the places you're familiar with in that song specifically.
Fantastic. I do love hearing things I know about repeated back to me. What has happened to them? They are all good. Last I remember is not much. I woke up here, not here, on an island. I walked and walked and walked.
So how do you spell the city that
Oh, yeah,
Life is
I'll
asking about?
Yeah, I'll probably once I've finishing the song after you said that is be like, you have obviously been asleep for a very long time. That is a very old song.
How old?
you can say that it is before the world. Basically, it is before the gods left the earth, so it's well over 10,000 years old.
Oh no.
It is from before the gods left the earth. I do not know specifically when.
It would seem I have much to learn. You will tell me all. Cut for 24 hours.
It's the library episode.
Let's get our books. I hope they did them all in song.
We discuss all this in the tavern.
Yeah, you're still standing in
Instead
the
of
rain.
out in the rain.
You're
Yeah.
all in
I'll
freezing
probably
at this point.
be
Right.
like, I'm cold, and try and usher him into the tavern.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Come,
go
we will
inside.
talk inside.
Yeah, just go along willingly.
Yeah, I'll
Yes,
also
a bit
go
of
inside.
warmth won't hurt.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to change your clothes. You're freaking soaked.
I will sit at a
I'm
table.
sailor in
feet
storm.
strapped.
I'm
Yeah.
hunched over a table in the tavern, frantically scribbling on my notes.
So you walk into the tavern. It is a very warm space. Definitely compared to outside. There's quite a few people inside. A bunch of the villagers have come back in. There's no song at the moment because everybody just sort of sat down again. But you can see there's food. You can see there's drinks of any description, and there's plenty of tables that you can all assemble at.
Iliana, I've got us a table. Over here. Over here.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, head over there. Sit down, look at the notes.
Look at this fascinating. I've already written like 3 pages of notes. It's incredible what I've learned from that spell alone. I had no idea magic could be compiled and compressed into one solid object, and here it is walking. Maybe that's one of 16 hypotheses I'm working with at the moment. Would you like some food? I can order us some food while we're discussing science. I know you love discussing science.
Magic can be fascinating, yes.
I just don't understand it. It's incredible. I wish I could do it as well as you do.
Well, you know, it just comes naturally, I suppose. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
You must have some. You must be just naturally a gifted genius. You're so clever, Eliana. So clever. Wish I was as good as wizard as you. Oh,
Maybe one day you'll figure it out, I'm sure.
barkeep. I'd like some food menu, please.
Yeah, let's
Alright.
have a look at the menu.
I'll send it. I mean, it's stew and bread and cheese. It's very simple fare.
Sounds delicious. I'm buying. How much for 2 portions?
They presented
Fantastic.
you with a 3-page menu for this stuff.
It's
Yeah,
like
a page for whole page per item.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
fully
I was hoping
closed
for
and says
some
menu on the front.
variety.
You open it, and at top of one page it says bread. Top of the middle it says stew. Top of the right it says cheese.
Yep.
And at the bottom and there's nothing else but the
Yeah.
doodles of the children.
It's a massive
Yeah.
menu, and for some reason, even though French isn't in this universe, it's all in French. Nobody understands why.
I'd take 2 portions of your finest bread, stew, and cheese, please.
But yeah,
The
it's
finest
Oh, a
Le bread.
baguette. That sounds lovely.
5 copper each for
5
a
well,
hearty meal.
I throw him a silver, and it's on me on account of the nearly crashing the boat on the way here.
Okay, so what's everyone else doing? Whilst we have assembled food enjoyers.
Yes. So,
I will try
I'm
to
just
take.
gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna like wait and try and take a seat, like to overhear whatever conversation is happening between Life and Reyes, and like just try to listen, but not like sit with them.
Surreptitiously listening.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just standing next to the people I went in with. I haven't taken a seat.
oh my goodness, he's come in. Fascinating. Perhaps he does need warmth after all. Let's get some more notes down.
I think he was just coming in to talk to people.
He's
that was what
talking
was
to
discussed
people.
outside.
We need to listen to whatever he says. He could have any information about our past.
I like the idea that Life is going to find the table furthest away from Verity.
I'm going to
I mean, I'm quite
slowly
tempted
edge
to
my
go and
way
sit
over.
at that table.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Oh,
Garn,
look, he's someone that looks smart, and he was interested. He might not be able to help.
True.
I'd probably like lead Life over to that table.
Oh
And be like,
no.
may we join you?
Are you talking to me, or are you talking to the robot?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I'm talking to you.
I'm going to look to Liara and be like, "You okay with this lovely individual joining us?"
Yeah, go right ahead.
I apologize. I've already ordered dinner. If I'd have known we'd have company, I would have ordered another one. My apologies. Very ill mannered. Back to my notes.
That's all right. By the way, my character is a very beautiful looking sea elf.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's what they look like. Currently.
Well,
I
have
passed
a
many of
very
these
frail
on my
old
way
man.
here.
I realised that you didn't actually know, and that's why you weren't able to figure out how to refer to them.
Is there anything already on the table that they've like brought to us?
It's in the menu.
No,
Is this the menu still there?
They took the menu away.
Oh, fuck.
They've only got the one. They've only got one menu for the whole like tavern. They have to hand it round, so you can't hold on to it.
Seems fair.
It's because the menu costs so much to make, being
Yeah.
3 papers.
They spent
For
a
3
year's
words.
profits on it.
The ink
Don't
is very
show them.
expensive.
Don't show them my bottle of ink I've got. They'll be furious.
Okay.
The doodlings of children are just the doodlings of verity.
True. All right. So Nemeth and Garn, what
Uh,
are you up to in this as everyone's gathering at this table?
Well, Miles will, throughout all this, have, upon arrival, gotten himself a room. It's not his first time here, being a person who spends a lot of time on ships. You get to port, you get a room. So he goes, dries off, puts on something less drenched, comes back down, and heads on over to the interesting table.
Okay. Yeah. So Nemeth too. Garn, what you doing?
I suppose that I'd also be at the inn. I didn't leave when the commotion happened because I'm on my day off. I'm not doing this if I don't have to. I guess. Yeah, I'll go see what everyone's getting up to, and I'll pull up a chair to the table, but I'll spin it round so the back of the chair is against the table, and I'll sit on it like a cool kid.
The Riker maneuver, I see.
Yes.
Only if
Reddy,
he
are you
spins the
like
chair under his leg first.
are you writing currently with the ink and quill?
Yes.
Just like, would you like another show of magic? Perhaps you can learn something from it.
Oh, yes. If you could teach me something, that'd be fantastic.
Just put the quill down.
But I need to make my notes from what you do.
Oh, don't worry, I can write them for you.
Okay. I put the quill down.
Yeah, then I'd like to summon a mage hand. Like, pick up the quill.
Oh, my goodness. I wish I could do that. I could just do this. I'm gonna gonna touch the table and cast a light on it.
Oh
Yeah, the
God,
light is-
why?
The table's now glowing.
Look at this. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? But I can't do that. That's what is that? I like yank the quill out of the air and start writing. What is this spell? What are you doing? How do you
It's
do it?
just a simple trick.
What school of? Do you know? How do you do it? From which book did you learn this?
I didn't learn it from a book. I just
She's so
think
naturally
about
talented.
it, and it can happen.
I wish I was half the wizard my granddaughter was. She's incredible. Scribble. Fascinating, fascinating. Have you seen this, Sea Elf? Have you seen how incredible my granddaughter is?
Yes, that is quite nice. And I'm also going to cast dancing lights in the air, but I can do something just the same.
Oh. How do you do that? How did you learn that spell?
It would probably be like playing a few notes on the instrument to cast it as well, by the way.
It's musical magic. Oh. I've heard of a few bards that can do something like this. There's a very famous one back from where we're from, but I can't quite remember the place we're from because we haven't discussed it, but that's fine. There's probably some famous bards there.
Have they brought us any drinks yet, or anything?
Yeah, no. The food and drinks are coming out. Don't worry. You've got sustenance and liquids at this point. As you're all
Yeah,
chatting.
I'd like to just use the mage hand to bring like the drink to me to drink from, not even having to touch it.
Incredible.
The barkeep will look at life and be like, the food? Question mark. Like trying to work out how to talk to person of robot. Be like, Food?
In the same way, I just very loudly no. I think this barkeep's clearly a bit slow.
Yeah. Looks at this assembled like around this table, the people who are sort of hovering, even the people who like surreptitiously listening in, like just goes behind the bar again, starts cleaning glasses, like watching, keeping an eye on the tavern in general, but keeping an eye on you guys.
I haven't noticed any of this. Despite having fairly high perception, I'm enamored with the magic that's going on before me. It's incredible.
How bright is the light that you
I
cast
turn it
on the
off.
table?
I turn it off. And then I
pretty sure-
prestidigitate a harmless puff of smoke in front of me, like poof. I can do that.
Truly impressive, Gramps.
Yeah, I'd
Oh,
really
you're-
also
you're
dispel
too
the
kind to your
dancing
own
lights
man.
as well.
You're too kind.
The dancing light.
Yeah, definitely. They're the ones that spin around.
Oh, can I join in on the magic show? Can I get the tankard I was drinking, smash it on the table, and then I'm like, watch this, and I use the mending cantrip and just make it whole again.
Well, my
I mean-
quill's back out again, and I'm writing.
Most
Oh.
importantly, though, the liquid's not in the mug anymore.
Yeah, it's still
That's
spilled
the
everywhere.
my
fun
goodness.
part.
And
My papers!
Oh,
Oh,
fantastic.
what a mess you've made.
I'll go and secure more beverage. Yes. And
I'll
just go
handle
up
this.
to the bar and get a bottle of wine.
That will be 5 silver for a bottle of wine.
You know what? I'll get 2.
1 gold, please. Also, you notice as you're getting your wine that when the tankard was smashed, you can see that behind the bar there's a blackboard, and the barkeep, you can see the name Xander, and it's written, there's a check mark next to it, but it's already got 5, so this is like 6.
I'm going to cast prestidigitation on the again on the table to clean it. Clean. Very useful. I may not be as good as you, Liana, but I can clean effectively.
Well, we all have to start somewhere, eh?
Yeah, well, one day I'll be as good as you. I feel it. I'll find a way. This
So
food's delicious. Yum.
Sounded kind of like a villain speech. Like, I'll
yeah,
find a way.
the food's pretty good. Like it's very. I mean, it's what you need because you're all flipping drenched still. It is warm, hearty. It's got like dumplings in it. You got pretty good bread. Nice. I mean, yeah,
Wait,
it's all good
our
stuff.
clothes are wet. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
can
take off my
you-
robe, revealing my emaciated, skinny body. I'm gonna hang it over like nearby a fire. But my clothes will be dry soon enough.
Please don't do that. Oh,
What do you mean?
not in the tavern.
You embarrassed by your grandpa's glorious muscles? And I like flex and like there's nothing.
The barkeep, there wasn't one before, but the barkeep adds to the chalkboard "old man" and adds 10.
Oh, no.
Oh dear. I just need to dry my clothes. Just give me a moment. And I'm gonna prestidigitate the water out of the clothes and then put them back on again.
Could you do that while wearing them?
It's not as fun. There we go, back on.
Everybody, like everyone else in the tavern, just like all the hubbub is just gone. It's silent now. Everybody looked over.
Anyway,
Can I have, like, at some point whilst he was doing that, like, snuck off upstairs to
Yeah.
go and change into some different clothes?
You definitely can.
You know, Yana's definitely a bit embarrassed to have to be associated with that happening.
and as soon as
Miles
I've got
just
my
sets
robe
the
back
second
on,
bottle of wine in front of Ilyana. I think you need this. I'm gonna.
Oh, I
take
definitely
this
could
one.
use some. Thank
Yes.
My fellows, you are causing discomfort to those around us. This action is beneath all of you. Please
has a perspective on morality.
apologize to the people you have harmed, and let us be on our day.
I'm just a little guy. I haven't hurt anybody. What do you mean?
Just a guy.
I think you should apologize, Gramps, actually.
Oh, okay.
Life is
got it.
staring at Verity.
I'm gonna I'm gonna turn around and just go. My apologies, everybody. I was not aware that it was such a faux pas. I beg your forgiveness, and hopefully, we can all forget this ever happened.
Everyone sort of just goes back to their drinks. As you say that, as well as you make that announcement, through the door, 2 more villagers come in from outside, like sort of huddled up, their cloaks over their heads so they don't get quite so wet. And they're not like being quiet, but you, Sim, because you're the one that's listening to what's going on the most, but
Yeah.
everyone else can as well. They are clearly talking about some weird thing that they came off the fishing boat and like, oh yeah, did you see the lighthouse? There's a bunch of strange lights going on in there. It hasn't been used in years, but definitely I saw some purple. And
So they
there's,
come in
have-
saying there was some strange lights coming from the inn as well as they approached it. All those dancing lights I saw in there.
Upon
I think everybody inside the inn
spreading.
is saying that. It's the
It's
outside.
spreading.
How long do the dancing lights last?
the-
Are they still
think it's a
going?
minute.
I think aquatic
No,
dismissal.
I would have just like, I dispelled them. Like, I was just showed them
Okay.
for a few moments and then would have dispelled them.
As they say that, I like start slapping Ileana on the arm and be like, this is the adventuring thing you like to do, isn't it? This is the thing. This is the call to action. You need to go do a thing now. This is what you do. I'm
Well,
very new to this.
I suppose we could investigate it, yes?
Splendid.
If you want.
I've never done this before. And I'm gonna just walk up to these people.
Yeah.
Where's the lighthouse?
Oh my lord! Sorry, sir. The lighthouse. Yeah, it's if you take the southern gate and you head, it's about 2 hours up the coast. Why you want to go to the lighthouse? Sort of
Perfect. And I'm
sort of
gonna
taken
proceed to
aback
take a
because you
tiny
weren't
puff.
invited to their conversation, so they're like, "What?"
But as soon as they tell me that, I'm gonna prestidigitate another puff that barely covers me, and I'm gonna scamper away back to Ileana. It's like a cheeky magic trick.
You see
Yeah,
one
I'm
of them whisper, "That's a very odd fellow, that is. We should keep an eye on that one." And they sort of go over to the table, like the bar, and order their food and drinks and stuff, keeping their eye on you.
They said it was on a hill somewhere. I didn't really listen. Where's the sea elf gone? She was here a minute ago. Where'd they go?
It would probably be at that point that I'd be returning.
Ah,
and
sea elf.
coming back over. Apologies,
Wonderful.
I had to go and change out of my wet clothes.
I did the same. I was very effective. But yes. Hang on, how many people are around this table at this point? Is everyone around
7.
this table?
That's right.
Seven.
Everyone's there except me. I'm
Oh, yeah,
not-
sorry,
I'm not
Sim
We
is
have one
here,
of the
so
long
6.
tables, I guess.
Aside.
Wonderful.
And I feel like life sort of sat down at the table and it's just like been without anyone noticing, just like one foot on the floor, slowly pushing their chair away from the table to get to safety.
No one
Yeah.
blames them.
Ileana's just
I
been
miss
casually
cold
pouring
embrace of
drinks with
sleep.
the mage hand.
Please let me go back into the ocean.
The world was not ready for me. And I am not ready for it.
I'm like trying to overhear the conversation of whatever the robot that's come out of the ocean is talking about, like what's going on there, and this whole thing is happening, and I just like
Well,
have my head in my hands. I'm like, oh my god, what am I getting myself into? Come
Oh
on.
no, these people are unhinged.
well, if
More or less.
you'd like to go to the lighthouse, would anyone else like to come along?
I'm just gonna slam my hand on the table and be like, "Hell yeah, let's go on an adventure." I'm
I
just
love
gonna
an
hold my hammer
enthusiastic
up.
soldier. I used to know I used to know a few people like yourself.
Uh,
Let's go.
might as well.
Oh,
Yes, I've been needing a new
It
adventure for a new song.
it beats the awkward conversation we're trying to have around this table.
speak for yourself.
Yes, I do. Frequently.
I'm having a wonderful time.
Most times when I speak, I do speak for myself. It's
Interesting.
handy.
I often speak for various people who can't speak.
I've also been intrigued by this conversation about the purple lights. I wanna know what's going on. I wanna know what's up with this. It sounds like there's some good money potentially involved. So I'll like turn around and be like, okay, I'll come to the lighthouse with you. But before we leave, I want to talk to the villagers who came in.
Yeah.
And see
They're-
if
they're-
I got all the information out of them. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Very
Sure.
thorough detective.
I'm pretty good at getting some information out of people though, so I'll go see if they know anything else. See if they're hiding anything.
Yeah, they're just sitting there having their drinks.
Yeah, so I'll sit down with them and say like oh, so I heard you say there were some purple lights at the lighthouse.
Oh yes, it's been going on a good few days now. Ever since that strange one showed up last week.
Ooh, and do you know where that strange one came from?
Ooh, well, I heard that old Smithy was saying that some sort of devil came from beyond, and then there was Mrs. Maud. She was talking about it being more of one of those fairies, when you go into the woods, sort of one that tricks you. Then you wake up 1,000 years later. But it's definitely one of them devils, as far as I'm concerned. That purple lightning, you can see it for miles when you're on the boats out at sea.
Oh, so it was lightning, you say?
Are fairies typically related to the Feywild?
Yes. The Feywild in Kithanos, it's just called the Otherworld. And any fairy associated thing, fairy, pixie,
Right.
puck, all those words, they'll use them interchangeably.
Okay, that definitely piques my interest in to hear that. Yeah, I'd like to head over and be like, a fairy, you say?
Aye. Well, that's what Mrs. Maud said. I subscribe to the idea that this one was a devil, because you see, I was there when they showed up, and there was this big flash of purple light. A big circle came on the ground, on one of those magical ones with all the weird scribbles on it and pictures. I don't know what they were, but there was some sort of devilry. I know that. And then they were there in a big flash, and then they ran off towards the lighthouse, muttering some sort of curses to themselves. Now, you see, I know a few fellas who've been walking along the Great North Road, and they say they've seen fairies, and fairies don't act like that. Fairies sort of stand by the side of the road and they wait until you're all alone, and then they're like, "Hello, mister, I've got some cakes for you," and then they wander off the road and they're never seen again. But devils, they don't do that. They don't just apparate.
I'm staring
Maybe
into
you
my
should take
hole.
them up on their offer for
Is,
cake sometime.
Well, I mean,
I'm
I'm
just
looking at-
hearing there's cake involved now. That's great.
no, you should never take cake from a stranger on the Great Northern Road. Never take cake. That's what they say. My old ma used to say, you never take cake from strangers on the road.
Well, I'm sure we can figure out if this is a fairy or a demon, as you seem to think.
I will. If someone can get them out of that lighthouse, that'd be a good trick. It's distracting us when we're trying to fish. It's bad enough with these storms have been so bad lately, and now there's from the lighthouse, there's all this purple flashes coming all the time.
They must be having a
Oh, it's
rave in there.
fascinating.
So, okay. Emma, if you're, have you got any more questions? Anything else you want to ask these gentlemen?
Did we ask about what they look like?
Oh, you haven't asked what they look like. Would you like to ask what they look like?
Yeah. Like, what did this person who arrived look like?
Wells, I got a good look at them, you see. The first thing about them that was so weird was they had one of those pointy hats that, wizards like to wear. But a big wide brim sort of thing. Big old hat. Very odd attire. So they must have been pretending to be a wizard. But then their robes, they were this sort of strange purpley sort of color, a little bit magic in them, I think. But then, when they stood up, they were ice blue. Like when those icebergs come down from Frognaw, you know those ones that they have that little strange blue shimmer to them. That's what they look like. Very strange sort of fella. Never seen one like that before. That's how I knew they were a devil, because they didn't look right. For clarity,
Ice
this is
blue.
Yeah.
Well, like, I guess Ileana might be wondering if perhaps this could be another Eladrin, because we can like shift our skin tones and stuff based on the season we're feeling. So some could definitely be dark blues if they're feeling very wintry.
possible. I mean, you can do I guess a history or a nature check if you wanted to see if you could, from the description that they've given, work out if you could work out who this, like, what species this person was.
Yeah,
I'll also do one.
do a history check. 18.
With a 3, nothing, not on a natural one. With an 18, they could be an Eladrin by the description, but there's any number of other people that they could be too. Like, some kinds of elves can have very pale skin. Ganassi could have very pale skin. Like tieflings can have pale skin. So it's very much, rather than it being an Eladrin, it's very much just this village's prejudice of what quote normal is.
Well, anyone who might be related to the other world is certainly of interest to me. So.
Oh no, you don't want to go meddling in the other world. That's very dangerous, that is.
Alright. I got no more questions.
Okay, they'll go back to their drinks.
Alright, I will thank them, and I'll buy them another drink. Just to I'll give them a drink and be like, if I see you around in town and you've got any more information, you see anything else weird with them, let me know.
Most kind, sir. Thank you very much. And then they try their drinks. And they just go back to chatting about whatever nonsense they do. Fisherman things. Ooh, did you see that trout that we caught last week? Like fisherman things.
Oh, the other week we caught a metal man.
We've been fishing them up for months, these metal men, and then one walks out of the sea. There's just like a pile.
Oh no.
There's a pile
My
behind
the
us.
ones that died.
Yeah, there's just like hundreds of them in a big heap.
How much is the drink, by the way? If I buy them,
if it was just the beer, it'd just be 2 copper. Like it was just buying drinks. Like 2 copper.
What time of day is it?
2 copper each, or one?
Like a copper each, so 2 copper total. I mean.
Okay.
It is like midday, but like you can't time of day isn't very apparent because it's just completely overcast and raining constantly. But
okay,
yes,
but it wouldn't be tired as if it's like late in the night.
No, it's not nighttime.
Okay, well, I think we should go investigate this lighthouse. Are you ready for your first adventure, Gramps?
I'm staring into my orb. I haven't noticed any of this conversation. I just sort of, as soon as we started going, and then Ileana got distracted, I just sat and started staring into my orb.
Okay, she's gonna use like the mage hand to like. I pick up one of the papers and like lightly slap him in the face with it and get his attention.
Ileana. I put the orb away and I grabbed the papers and I put them away.
Are you
we
ready
good
for
to
your
go?
first adventure, Gramps?
Yes, I'm ready. What do I need to have any drinks in particular? Is there like a good tradition, or what do I
Well,
need
I'd
to
recommend
do?
not getting too drunk.
Oh, okay. I don't really drink. I'm quite. If I drink, it'll just knock me out. So one glass of wine and I'm sleepy. Got to be careful.
As she says that, she's gonna like use the mage hand again to like pour a glass of wine and drink it.
Oh, I wish I was young. Oh, goodness me. But yes, let's go to a lighthouse. It sounds fun.
Okay. Is everyone going, or is anyone staying here?
I think we're
Nah, we'll
going.
leave
Yeah,
it.
I'm going.
Going.
This is your chance, life. This is your one chance. You can get away. They're all leaving now. Speak now.
You can run.
You could still get out.
Life departs with a notable.
Oh no! Oh no! Now I'm gonna have to fix everything. Crying.
Oh no!
It'll
No,
fix
it's fine.
itself.
It'll fix itself.
It will fix itself. Oh, perfect.
Can you imagine if we just instantly made a new character?
That'd be so fun. Okay, so you leave the Avon. The Avon? Apparently, I just
The Avon?
forgot how to English. The tavern. On your way towards the lighthouse, following directions the villagers gave you. You cross through the walls and over the bridge. The bridge goes over quite a deep chasm. So for the what this coast looks like, for those who want like to imagine the place most similar to it, it's like the Orkneys or Shetlands or the Faroe Islands. It's an extremely craggy and rocky, like very deep rivers, fjords and stuff like that, and it's very windswept is the best way to describe it. There is a permanent breeze here. It's not currently like hurricane force or gale force. But it's still windy.
It's too fucking windy.
It's
So
fucking
fucking
windy. Yeah.
windy.
Yeah.
Oh, good
Anyone
God,
who
my cloak.
Oh yeah, somebody needs to hold on to Verity because they're at risk.
I'm very feeble.
So light you could be blown away.
I've got -2 strength.
And you can see from the sea in front of you, like the sea is roiling. It is grey. It is choppy, and it looks awful. There's like no ships out there right now, and there is lightning out to sea. You can see the rain and all the rest of it. Behind you, you can see the giant home mountains, which are an enormous mountain range that basically goes almost the entire length of Therin. This giant thing you see that behind it, and the forest sort of clinging to the edge of it. The only area that's sort of clear in your vicinity is in the immediate vicinity around Brightvale. You can see a couple of little lights where you know that there would be sort of small farmsteads, but there's not a lot around. But you walk along this road, the Great Northern Road, heading southwards, and then you see a trackway. Probably you've only walked for probably like half an hour. A little dirt track you can see goes back towards the coast. And you can see that the coast is rising up to this large cliff, and you can sort of now. It's clearly like an hour's walk away still from you. There's scattered trees around, but you can see that there is clearly a lighthouse there. It's a disused lighthouse. And it's not like a modern one. It is basically it's a tower with a platform on top that you can put a fire on if you need to, rather than the kind of modern ones like with the swirly around them, and then you have the light that's always on spinning around. It doesn't really quite look like that. It's just basically a big giant torch tower.
Looks like we're going that way. I've seen a few of these before in some old architecture magazines.
I would
Yeah,
hope so, considering how much you sailed.
You have a subscription to
I,
Lighthouses
I,
Weekly.
I'm best lighthouse.
Yeah, that's like a
actually.
newspaper that goes around.
Back where we used to live, I was subscribed to Best Lighthouses Weekly. The editor was a wonderful man. I knew him well. Yes,
Whatever happened to Lighthouses Weekly?
I think it's still going, but I had to cancel my subscription when we left. I feel as though I should admit to you, I may have exaggerated my sailing capabilities. I've read a lot of books about sailing. That's what I'll say.
What?
Yes, I've always been more of an academic than an actual sailor. But hey, we both
What-
learned something, didn't we? We both learned a thing from the sailing.
What's like a big sea creature that people would know about?
Like a mythical one, or just like a normal one?
Like a normal one, like a whale or something.
Yeah, I mean every kind of whale you can name.
Yeah, whales.
Are there just whales in this world?
Yeah, it's just whales, but there's extra whales. So you got every color of whale. So it's not just blue whales. They're
Ooh.
accompanied by purple whales, red whales, orange whales, green whales. Not yellow whales for whatever reason.
Say that
I
fast
saw
10
them on
times.
the way.
The orange ones are
This
poisonous.
Yeah, don't eat the orange ones.
Wait, so are you suggesting that you didn't catch that giant orange whale you talked about many years ago?
Well, I was there. And without me being there, who knows if it would have succeeded. But no, that was with my old friends. Those silly little buggers. Yes, I hope they're well, wherever they are. I haven't seen them for quite some time.
Maybe because they got eaten by a whale.
An orange one.
An
Maybe.
orange one.
I doubt it. They were very, very good at dealing with the whale. And also
Did they
dealing
eat
with me
it?
screaming. I don't think they did eat it, no. I think they captured it and took it to the zoo.
You would find more fulfillment in life if you lived it honest and true.
Yeah, Ilyana just sort of looks around a bit disappointed because she thought that was like the one thing Gramps excelled at was sailing.
Oh no. I may have done some damage there. She walks away. Oh dear.
Ileana will remember that.
Yeah, she just keeps walking towards the lighthouse.
Is there anything anyone wants to do on this walk towards the lighthouse?
I'm going to continue to ponder my oar.
I'm just
I'm-
shaking my head that this here with this fool. Who are these people that are gone to the lighthouse with me? Christ.
Wait, who's the fool? Wait a minute. Hang on. Very
I'm
weird thing to say about that
intently
robot.
studying the surroundings to see what's new and changed, different, or even the
Yeah.
same.
I mean, you don't even need to do perception of this, but you can do if you want. But yeah, the world looks very different to how you remember it. Where you lived and where you're from, it was like Mediterranean. It was beautiful and stunning, and all the other like it was sort of like it was a Mediterranean climate all around where you'd been, and anywhere that you traveled, it was verdant forests. It was calm weather. There was very little sort of storm. There would be weather like rain and stuff like that, obviously, but there wouldn't be like this constant storms. Where you are now, you're in a very grey, wet place, and you would have never seen anything like that before. So it's pretty
Spicy
bad.
shit.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I'd probably like be with Life and answering any questions he has about the world and how things have changed, because I did agree to do that.
Spicy shit. I just repeat.
He's going back in the sea. I'm calling now. That's what's going on in life. You just go walk into the sea. It's better this way.
This land used to be warm. Used to have sun. Used to have life.
It has life now. He just walked back onto the land.
This is accurate.
Wheater's just described average British
Oh.
thoughts right there.
This world. I used to be able to go to Europe without a visa.
Oh no!
Oh,
no!
Uh,
Oof! Too real. Oh no! Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you approach this lighthouse. Like I said, it's a big abandoned tower with a platform on the top. But you can see that there is lights inside the tower. There's a large wooden door at the front of it, and you can see that from the little windows that are kind of close to the top of the lighthouse, that there is a. I mean, they described it as purple. It's more that it's like a light pink. It's imagine like you had, like a pale light bulb, not like the warm orange ones, but instead of it being like tinted blue, it was a pinky tint to everything. That's all it is. It's not like a really dark purple. Yeah, and that's what you can see
they have an
from
RGB strip up there.
Yeah, just changing all around the lighthouse. It's just RGB.
Just having a rave.
Yeah, 7 or 8.
Is it like lights
That's just
floating
from
around and
style.
stuff, or just like lightning strikes, or is it just like flashing from inside the lighthouse?
It's not flashing. So it's imagine like it's candlelight, so it flickers a bit in a breeze, but it's not orange. It's a very 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 soft, like white pink kind of color.
Fascinating. Got to look
Well,
at it through my orb. See if anything. I'm not going to cast a
Someone's
spell.
certainly here.
Orb.
Can I try and open the door?
You just want to try and open
The
it. You're not
big-
going to knock
the big
or
door.
anything.
Nope. I'm just gonna open it.
Okay. When you turn the handle, you hear it like clonking, and it's clearly locked from the inside.
Can I take a walk around the lighthouse and see if there's any like, are there any windows at
Or-
like ground level that I can see in?
There's no windows at ground level. The windows start kind of like second story and above. But you can also see that around the outside of the lighthouse, from behind it, there is a set of wooden stairs that are broken. So there's like sections missing. Think your average place in any Dark Souls, Elden Ring style game. Just your average building, like missing sections of staircase.
Right. Classic parkour section.
Yeah, classic parkour section.
And there's a
lead up.
ladder at the top that could be knocked down.
Yeah.
The shortcut.
And the top is basically it's like a wooden hexagon platform that, again, some of the beams of it are rotten. You can see that's where the fire would have sat on top of.
Are any of the windows open?
No, they're just glass windows. They don't like. I mean, you can do a perception check, but you would probably know from most lighthouses that you wouldn't be able to open the windows.
Right. Okay.
Life is going to shout at the lighthouse. Is anyone in? Please, we wish to talk.
There is a delay, and you would hear a thud of something, and then you would hear like somebody sort of not rushing downstairs, but like the sound of somebody who is like skipping stairs. So they're sort of coming quickly, but they're not running. And then from the other side of the door, you hear a voice say, "Are you the villagers again? 'Cause still not going to grant any of your wishes. Sorry, that's not what I do.
I am not a villager.
Wait,
Villagers
wait,
sent
wait, you
us
do
here
wishes?
because
No,
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 they've-
we're not here for wishes.
maybe one of us is, but we're not dealing with them right now. They don't have to speak to you. You don't have to talk to them. I wish.
I
we
just
didn't
want to
have
study
talk to them.
the how wish works.
You
Settle down, Grandpa.
Oh,
please.
I've adopted
Deep
another
Let us do the
grandchild.
talking. Just take your notes,
Okay,
okay?
all right. I'm learning from the adventures.
We've heard that your lights are causing distraction to the nearby boats, seeing as they're in a lighthouse. This could
It-
cause severe harm to people.
My
presume I know what a lighthouse is.
lights- Yeah, you know what lighthouses existed back in your day.
What is this
The-
newfangled technology?
The lighthouse producing light is causing a distraction to shipping.
Correct.
Well, I think it's the color of the lights that are confusing them.
Right. Well, and you hear them click their fingers, like you hear that noise, and then you see that the lights all go orange. That better? I mean, it seems a lot to come all
Fantastic. I'm clapping.
seems a lot to come all the way up here to get me to change the color of my lights, and just
I'm going to barge
well,
in and be like, okay, you seem to be fairly adept with magic. I'd love to ask you some questions if that's okay. Do you have time for an interview? And I pull out some acrylic paper.
well, I'm
They haven't even opened the door yet, have
yeah,
they?
they're still on
just
the other
talking
side of the
through it.
door.
No.
Is it
Yeah.
still raining, by the way?
It's still raining. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm sure that will satisfy the villagers, but we'd love to have a chat. It's very stormy out here.
You made
I'm
quite
so
an
Shoot us
appearance.
in.
You made quite an appearance in the village. It sounds like quite the story.
Well, I mean, you have one minor mishap, and everybody just goes on about it. But okay, that's fine. Ken always said you should be appreciative of people, and you should let them. It's fine. It's raining. Okay, and you hear them rummaging around and unlocking doors and stuff like that, and taking bolts off.
Doors.
Yes, you hear multiple doors clicking, multiple sets of locks and bars.
Oh my god.
Incredible. Must value
This
her
lighthouse
security.
is like a fortress.
So it takes a solid minute, and then the door opens. And on the other side, you see, dressed in pretty elaborate purple robes, you see somebody who has light blue skin, darker blue hair, and they are there. They have elven-y features,
Yeah.
quite feminine.
Seeing them now, do I have a better idea of what species they could be?
They're certainly some sort of elf. They don't look to be Eladrin because they don't look like they have. So when you change your season, right? You change your emotional state at the same time.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be particularly melancholy.
As
They s-
someone whose kids adopted an elf, I imagine I would have spent a long time listening to them discussing different varieties of elves. Do I know what kind of elf this is?
You can make a nature check if you want to know the specific kind of elf that it is.
Nature.
As you are doing this inspection, everybody is looking them up and down, by the way. You will notice a very distinct thing about them, which is they have entirely black eyes.
I rolled a 13, but it's not coming through
Oh.
again.
I
Okay,
saw it come up on
reconnect
the
this.
thing. I saw it come up on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can check it on
Yeah.
there too.
Can I also do a nature check?
With a 13, you would know that they are
11.
with an 11. They are not your usual kind of elf. They're not like a wood elf or a high elf or something like that. They appear to be a rather unique kind of elf. They don't
Right.
look like Eladrin either.
Well, Seeing that they are another elf, I'd like to step forward and like hold out my hand. Be like, oh, hello there. I'm Ilyana.
I got it working.
Oh my
there-
god. Good thing we were rolling initiative.
She looks at you. She takes off her hat. So her hat is like the same purpley blue, big, massive hat. She takes it off, and you see that she has bright pink hair under like her thing.
I also have pink hair.
Yeah. So you can see like when she takes her hat off, this illusion kind of goes away, and her hair color changes. But she hadn't like it was an illusion. She
Incredible.
didn't know. And she takes your hand, holding her hat in her other hand, and she shakes your hand. She's like, "Oh, I'm Aira." I'll spell that for everyone. So why have you come to my temporary tower?
Well, we heard after getting shipwrecked here, we heard that there was someone interesting in town, and I would love to get to know other people who are astute in the magics, especially an elf.
She sort of like looks you up and down, and everybody else also looks past everybody to life. Now that one is interesting. Come in. And you can tell that she's directing it at life, not at the rest of you. But sort of, it's kind of a general invitation, but mostly it's at life.
Rightly so. Yo, what's up? We heard in
You can
town.
even use slang. What
Is
a
that an
fascinating
ancient
beast.
phrase?
Joe, what's up? That is incredible.
It was an ancient greeting.
Language from a bygone era.
She puts her hat on like a stool nearby. You can see, by the way, that now you're inside the tower. There's the inside of the lighthouse. You have the stairs going up. You can see that it's filled with papers and bookcases. But she starts like walking around life, being like, well, I mean, the description fits. How long have you been awake?
It's difficult to say. I spent most of my waking days underwater. Very underwater.
Interesting. Now, I guess secondary point, do you remember the destruction? Or are you before that? Just checking for my notes.
I'm learning of the destruction currently. I do not remember it.
So you're that's even better. That's very, very interesting. Yes. Okay, everybody, come in, blah, 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 whatever, the rest of you. Yeah, you
I'm listening to what she's saying, and I'm quickly writing that down as well. I'm like, oh, he knows a bit more than me. Okay.
She's like now is sort of like yeah, getting. Also, don't drip on. Oh wait, 1 second. And then she prestidigitates you all. Right, don't drip on anything.
I
Don't
can
do
do it
that.
myself. It's fine. It's whatever.
Oh, thank you. Very horrible out there.
It's just rain. You're waterproof, right?
Huh?
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, no,
Some of
you're
us are.
you. I mean, you're not like a candle. You're It doesn't matter. And she like goes upstairs, like very sort of. Okay, let's see if we can find. You can hear her talking as she's like going around books and stuff. That she has brought in here, but you are in the tower. She is going upwards into it. If you wish to do
So the
anything.
people who guided us here were talking about the lights being distracting for their fishing. They also feared devilry.
Oh yes, we did say
Devilry?
that as well.
Yes.
Okay, look.
They said the same when they saw me, though.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, they just see a not person that they are related to, and suddenly it's a devil.
Well, I think we're slightly further removed than just not related, but yes, I see your point.
Yeah, I mean they're all okay. Well, but okay. So I will explain exactly what happened. I mean, I still don't really know. Okay, I'm teleporting around the place, like you do, casually. I was trying to get back to Therin because that's where I live, and there was some sort of interference. I'll type it for you. Some sort of interference, and suddenly I wind up stuck with these people, and I'm being told that I'm a devil. Although there was this one old woman who came up to me and started screaming at me for like 2 hours, who was like, bring back my son. He went off into the woods chasing the fairies. You are one of them. Give me back my son. I'm like, who are you? Also, who is your son? And also, which fairies? You're going to have to be more specific. This has been my life for the past week. So I don't grant wishes. I'm
Wizard
not a devil.
problems. Am I right?
But I do want to know
Always
what this...
being accused of such things. I've
of
definitely
devilry.
had that. Yep. I've definitely had that. I'm an experienced.
Ilyana just sort of rolls her eyes.
All we told you to do was keep your pants on, and you didn't do that.
Technically, you did not tell me to do so.
I also enjoyed when you said Serentor and suddenly everyone's marker started moving all
Yeah,
over the map.
everyone's
Yeah,
looking for
everyone
it.
looking for it on the map.
But I
Still
do
haven't found it.
want to know what the interference is. Because it's very weird, right? It's very strange that I would be, suddenly unable to do something I do all the time.
Perhaps
Sure.
it could be the
Yes.
storm.
Well, I mean, I suppose they are magical in nature. Quintessence does dissolve in the clouds. This is just a thing that happens sometimes. So some of the storms have a little bit of magic in them. I accept that. However, this was
Magic in them.
very much didn't feel like that. It felt like somebody was stopping me specifically. It could be anybody. Ken has plenty of enemies, so it could be any of those.
Who?
I didn't. But apart from that,
No.
I don't have any of these.
Ken.
You have enemies, Ira. There.
Well, I mean, I
And
don't. But
have your investigations into this found any hints?
well, so far, well, okay. There's loads of ruins around here. It could be any of those, but I don't have time to go and well, I mean, I will go and explore some of them, I'm sure, but I don't know which one it would be. But it'd have to be it'd have to be a powerful magical practitioner, very powerful. I don't see any evidence of them around. They don't even have a tower.
Oh. Oh.
I haven't seen any evidence of them either.
You seen
sound
any
like
towers
the only
around?
powerful wizard
Uh,
around
Well,
here.
This is the
we are
tallest
standing
one.
in a tower right now.
Yeah, but I made this my temporary tower. Like wizards can't. You can't be a wizard and not have a tower, right?
Maybe this was their tower and you
Hey,
stole it
Verity,
from them.
you got a tower?
I have an apartment.
An apartment.
It's a studio apartment.
Eyes go
Technically,
wide.
Technically, it's in a very prestigious city. It's in a tower.
You don't have a tower.
I'm very new to wizardry. I was actually the foremost expert on giants, in the university where I'm from before I took up wizardry. So, we've all got things to brag about.
Yes. Foremost the giants as you were sailing.
Well,
She just sort of glares at him for a second.
I'm actually not lying about the giant thing. I've learned a lot about them.
Well,
Mm.
I mean, I'm sorry that you don't have a tower, but I don't see one around. So the other alternative is that it's not a wizard.
That would seem accurate. It's either
Could it be?
50-50, it is a wizard, or it is not a wizard.
See, they
Could it be
just
some
don't
sort
make
of
them like they
fake?
used to.
Mm.
It's impeccable logic. I can't fault it.
Could it be some sort of fae?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of them
Oh,
around.
yes, perhaps.
Now, but which
I
one?
just like just make a horrible sound like ugh when someone mentions Faye, and then just shiver, just like ugh.
What'd you say about fae?
She looks around.
Have you had many interactions with the Fae?
Me personally?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I've probably met one or two that I know of. They're very good at hiding.
Any you might have annoyed?
Definitely. But that's really on them. Honestly, they get annoyed by a lot of things.
I
Verity.
forgot the buttons. Do things.
Rarity's just
Verity
flexing in the corner.
I'm lifting a big barrel. Oh, this is heavy.
He's lifting a small 100-page volume, but
Not
it's taking
too
a lot of
heavy for
strength.
me. Strong man
Oh.
Verity. This is what they
This
used
is-
to call me back in the university.
This is just the roll Verity has to make after standing up for an hour.
Oof.
I have not fallen over yet.
Oof.
It's his hip strength.
Are you concerned that this lighthouse may be under some ill effect?
Well, I mean, it was abandoned. It's possible, but I think that it's far more likely that there is some sort of magical practitioner, perhaps somewhere in the mountains. Like I said, there's plenty of places around here that you could be hiding that I don't know about, but also there's other things, right? So like this is the thing. So when I arrived, the first thing I noticed, there was a weird amount of magic here. Now, you've been to Brightvale, right?
Briefly.
It doesn't
Yes.
come across as a like magical
No.
town.
I
No.
don't really know.
Didn't
No,
have
it
a
was
wizard.
quite mundane.
Yeah. But you see, the thing is that it's got a weird something. I don't know what to call it. There's a magic. And that made me think. Okay.
Did you try casting vibe check?
That's a very powerful spell.
Ah, you mean divine sense?
Yes. I mean, that is effectively vibe check, so.
That is effectively vibe check.
And
I love
only
it. That's
like
actually a spell.
one
going to call it
class
vibe
gets
check.
it.
It's a vibe check from now on.
I don't like. Wait, hang on. Unless monks get, I think monks might get something similar at some point. But like, it's basically paladins and monks. Nobody else can get vibe check.
Guess who has vibe check, motherfuckers?
Ooh.
Every
You get
time
vibe check.
life vibe checks, he'll dab.
True. It's the pose for vibe checking. My results come through on my elbow, and I need to use the other arm as an antenna.
Yeah, he's gonna get good signal.
I love it.
Yeah. So that had me thinking. Okay, this doesn't happen often, but I know that like I've heard people talking about it. That sometimes people use the North Coast for bringing in stuff they might have found from the north, magical somethings. So I'm wondering whether or not that this whole interference was caused by somebody bringing in something through the back door, so to speak. Quintessence could have been a shoalstone, could have been flipping any of the magical plants that grow up there, right?
Guys, I found Therin Tor on the map.
You did,
At the
finally.
top left. Top left. Way
Oh
top
my
left.
god.
I didn't even know there was.
Oh my god.
We were looking for so long.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hey.
They are
Life
very
gains 1
off
XP.
course.
Wait, so they teleport across the ocean?
3,000 miles.
I just
Oh, wow.
I just imagine them like doing like little teleports like into the water and then just like jumping through the water with
Teleport,
teleports.
teleport. Yeah, like that.
It's the same journey I made, only I couldn't teleport.
Oh no.
I was there for roughly 200 years. Making that walk.
Yeah, the problem was it was actually 300 years, but he only counted 200 years because he didn't know for 100 years that he was walking through a very strong current and he wasn't actually making any
Oh
progress.
no.
Oh no.
He was counting steps.
No.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that somebody's bringing in some stuff that they shouldn't be bringing in. Certainly not here. Now, who that is, I don't know. I don't know these people. They seem to all just be fishermen.
Well, if we're in luck, it might have just been some villager that happened upon something they don't know what it is, and it'd be easy to get.
But there'd have to be a lot of it to disrupt a teleportation circle like that. Like a lot of it. Doesn't feel like it'd be something that would just wash up.
Well, you'd be surprised what the ocean spits back out. Look at this thing.
Like
Excuse me.
like life over here.
Yes, that is interesting. And it's also very interesting that you find yourself waking up now. You see, the thing is that normally Hernix wake up for a reason. And the fact that you've woken up and arrive here now, when this magical disruption is happening, I'm just saying, coinky dinks don't happen often.
What does that mean?
You seem to know an awful lot
It's-
about our
It
robot
means
friend here.
coincidences.
Oh, I think
Yes, it's another ancient word, similar to yo, what's up?
Coinky dink, yo, what's up?
Koiki Dinky was up.
this is out of my wheelhouse. I'm more of a giant man than a whatever
Well,
the fuck's going on here.
I would hope that I would know a little bit about these things. I spent several centuries studying pretty much everything there is about Goldana, Issaria, and all the rest of it. So, and Henisyria is a very interesting place. Well, was. Well, is, but was. But is, but was. It's confusing.
There does seem to be a lot less in it.
Yeah, it did rather. Well, I mean, don't want to get sort of too with you, life, but your people did sort of refuse to bend the knee. I guess
Oh,
this is the probably, yeah. I guess I'll tell you now. They apparently put up a fight.
As one should.
Yeah, but then Galanastra didn't take too kindly to it. I think it was the
Better-
defiance.
It is better to fall standing in what you believe in.
Well, I'm sure they had a very good send off. But yes, Hernicia, very interesting that you should wake up right now. It makes me wonder. Makes me wonder what it is that they have brought here. Whoever it is that's brought it here. And there's just other things. So, okay, this is the other. This is, I don't think this is related, but also when I arrived, I was asking, was there any like magical people? Like, have people been through town? like you do, you check up. Is there somebody here? Is there an evil wizard with a tower summoning lightning that's making this happen? It's basically what I was asking for, which there wasn't. But the druid, they said, the druid that lives like kind of in the woods a bit away, but like they live nearby.
Absolutely.
You met them? She's like
No.
looking at you all, and you're all giving blank faces at her. Right.
Afraid not.
Okay.
No.
So the druid, I don't even check their name. I guess you don't. If there's a hermit in the woods, you're just like, "Hi, hermit." I'm sure they have a name, but anyway.
Oh, they don't like being called hermits.
Yes, this
No,
is why we
I think
established
they
the
do.
neutral greeting, yo, what's up? To avoid awkward situations like that.
It's very smart.
I think
like
they
it.
do like being called hermits.
You want to be called a hermit?
No, they like it. Druids.
Oh,
I'm a civilized man from a city.
well, just about.
I definitely know the name of.
It's he can't remember where he's from. That's great.
I forgot to write it
old.
down.
Yeah, so she's like, yeah. So the druid was telling me that what was it, about a month ago, there was a dwarf who was on a pilgrimage, like one of those Krindokian dwarves, like the religious sorts, and they're on a pilgrimage into the Giant Home Mountains, and they went sort of up the mountains here. And I don't think that's related, but also it's strange that these things are all happening now. Like, why would they be brought here on a pilgrimage now when there's no dwarf ruins around? There's no dwarf cities here. Why would this magical thing interfere with my teleporting? Why would a Hernick wake up? A Hernick, everybody, life here.
Yo,
Is called a what?
Why are you here at the same time?
Because my teleport went wrong. Look, I was over in Gelanger. I was doing my good, responsible duties.
All right. Everyone do the search.
Oh, you won't find that on the map. That's a different continent. I was okay. I was looking some stuff up, whatever, and I was coming back with the research, with the findings. Teleport goes wrong. I end up here. Apparently, I'm a devil and a pixie at once. Although now that I think about it, a devil pixie would be pretty good. Contracts and whimsy.
I hate it here.
Contracts do sound like they could use some whimsy.
Noted.
Whimsy.
I wonder if that's ever existed. And you can see, like, she's very quickly distracted herself by the idea of a pixie devil.
It's also a way to easily get villagers mad at you.
I think the villagers probably just get mad.
yes, they will need to work on that
That's
trait.
true.
There's not a lot to
I mean,
do
the
around
only
here.
way involved is attracting attention, and really can't be blamed for that.
I mean, like I said, I wouldn't have come here if it hadn't made me. But
Mhm.
also, do any of you have... Can you do magical messaging, any of you? Looking at you all?
No. I haven't got to that level of education yet.
No, I don't think so.
You haven't got to that? Never mind. We're not going to dwell on it. I'm sure you'll get there eventually, young man. She frowns.
Oh, thank you. You flirt.
Oh, he is young by her standard.
Yeah. And then she's just like, because the other thing is magical messages are also being blocked, which makes me think it's deliberate.
Right.
Do you have any leads of where we could go to stop whatever's going on?
Well, best bet right now, I would say you can either find out whatever's going on, if there is some sort of magical smuggling going on inside the town. I don't know these people, but if that's happening, You could go talk to the druid, but he's like in the woods. If you follow the road, like carrying on towards Hillockmouth, you'll be able to see where his shack is because it's near the road. Or you could go wandering in the mountains looking for these ruins / this dwarf who was on a pilgrimage because maybe they know something. I have no idea.
It's a good thing you've got plenty of thoughts.
I got plenty of thoughts of who it is, but as you can see, I am locked up in my tower because if I leave, I'm demanded to bestow wishes upon people.
It wasn't like there
But
was a
that's
queue
from the
outside.
people
I
of
feel like you could just...
Bridgevale. Surely then you should go visit the mountain dwarfs, or a hermit, a druid, who is nowhere near the villagers asking these things of you. Seems like you could save yourself a lot of time and hassle by just, getting out and doing shit.
True, but I wouldn't have a tower then.
Vanity must be let go.
I'm a wizard.
To be fair, we're very vain creatures, wizards.
A wizard without a tower isn't a wizard. Well, okay, a wizard without a tower and a pointy hat isn't it?
Oh,
Surely
no.
wizards leave the towers at times.
Oh.
Oh,
The
we can.
towers of great wizards are remembered. Great towers of wizards are not.
I
She
don't have a
she
tower.
takes a minute. I think that's profound.
I
think-
don't have a tower or a pointy hat, but I can do this. Harmless puff of smoke.
The harmless puff of smoke is just Verity smoking a pipe.
Well,
Well, look
Okay.
at this. I'm Gandalf. I can make shapes in the smoke.
I can make shapes.
She can't make smokes in the shapes in the smoke.
Also, I have been trying to get a communication through the spell. That's probably what the flashes that people have been talking about is that it being blocked. So I feel like I'll be spending my time better if I can work out a way of sending a magical spell back to Therin than chasing after messages. Now, I will say that you seem like a I'll say helpful. I won't say unemployed group of adventurers. I'll say helpful.
They are
Whom-
definitely unemployed.
I am technically between ships due to the storm.
Yeah, helpful, like I said.
Yes.
Willing volunteers. You could go and check whilst I try and break this spell. Or whatever it is. I mean, it seems like it's a spell. It seems very deliberate.
That
Yeah, you can-
sounds like a great
Hmm.
idea.
You can see, by the way, as well, like,
How-
now, there are sigils all over the inside of this lighthouse, like circles with, like, arcane writing and stuff like that, all over the place of trying to get magical messages through. Or whatever else is that she's trying to cast.
Hmm.
Have you tried casting the magical messages from different locations?
Oh, yes, that was the first thing I did. That's why everybody, I think, thought I was a devil. The first thing I did when I landed was I attempted to communicate. But that was in Brightvale.
And did you get any indication of where the message went at all?
No, just a big puff.
Is that what's happening to you, Verity? Are you trying to send messages, but they're being intercepted?
No, I don't think they're being intercepted. I think they're just being prevented.
Right, I see.
Every time I tried to cast a magical message and send it to Sarentor, it's basically been like a magical feedback. Like before the spell finishes, there is a surge. And obviously that makes a bright light, and then all the villagers go, "Ah, devils!"
Hmm. It would seem the first thing we should do is check back in Brightvale. Seeing as it was only a 30-minute walk, it'll be quicker to go back
Yes.
there and then come back to wherever it is we're going.
Yes, and
I can
that
give it a vibe check.
yes, and there was that
Have you learned that spell already?
Yes.
strange person they were talking of. That might be worth investigating.
Wasn't this the strange person?
What do you mean?
I thought there was another one.
Oh, not me.
No, we figured you out, more or less. I think. No offense.
I'm not sure how much there is to figure out.
What?
I'm
Very.
flattered.
Yeah.
I'm a simple man.
Simple man with simple tastes. Yeah.
Indeed. Now, someone
Superman,
give me
simple
some
taste,
taste.
harmless puff of smoke.
Harmless puff of smoke.
That's what he does, and he tries to leave a room. Harmless puff of smoke. Aha! Nobody has seen me leave. Da, 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 da.
Everyone just
Fantastic.
watches him run away.
Batman parody videos. That's all it is.
Okay, so you want to go back to Bright Vale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I before we leave, can I like perception check to see if there's anything that I notice as odd in amongst the books and anything else that she's got strewn around in this room?
You can make a perception check. Percept away with a 5. It looks like a very convincing interior of a wizard's tower.
I'll give it a quick glance over, see if it's like any of the wizard towers I visited while I was at the university.
He's never visited a wizard tower, anybody. He just says he
Gonna
has.
Just gonna give it a quick look around.
Well, you know, it was in the books. The Wizard Tower's in the
I've
books.
seen pictures.
He showed up to a lot of wizard towers, and all the wizards were like, yeah.
I got a 28.
Oh my god!
Oh,
What the
yeah.
hell?
Holy fuck. Okay.
Oh, wow.
With a 28,
Particularly perceptive.
yes, the most important thing that you realize about the interior of this wizard tower is if she arrived by teleportation to this place she'd never been before, and then came to this abandoned lighthouse that everybody knows was abandoned beforehand, where did all the books, bookcases, papers, scrolls, crystals, and various accoutrements of a wizard's tower come from? Because it definitely wasn't on her person.
I'd like to approach her and be like, so where did all your wizard accoutrements come from if you teleported here?
Well, Verity, when did you learn that word?
I studied.
Uh,
Gave
It's another
me by the
ancient
orb.
word.
How is it spelled?
Oh, that's
why would you ask me that?
Carefully.
Rude.
When you ask her that, she folds her arms and she looks at you very, like, with a much more serious face now.
Insight check.
And go for it.
Yeah.
21.
21. Okay. This bristles her. And she replies, I have means of getting some of my stuff from other places. It's a folding. It's a chest. There you go. It's a chest filled with my stuff, and I took it all out of my chest. She's lying.
Why are you lying, Ira? Chests don't work that way.
He's like a
Silly.
detective. Just don't
Silly
work that
Billy.
way, you liar. Objection.
Look, just because some of us have things, okay? And you can see that when she's doing that, like, this can be part of your insight as well, that she fiddles with the finger on her, like, her that she has on which finger is that? She has a ring on one of her fingers, but I'm trying to describe. It's the one closest to your pinky. I don't remember which one that one's called.
Ring finger.
The ring.
Literally
finger.
Congratulations,
The ring
me.
on the ring.
I'll just fail apparently completely. Yeah, no, she twiddles with a ring on her finger as she's saying this. Look, sometimes we wizards, we have mystical means of acquiring goods at very short notices, and then might not be in a chest, but maybe.
Yeah, I have
You
those
married?
records anyway. Steal them.
Did
You
you
married,
steal
Ira?
these things from another wizard?
No, I didn't steal these from another. This is all mine. Thank you very much.
Are you
And-
married?
No, why would I get married?
Got a wedding ring. What's that ring about? Love.
She realizes that you've noticed that she was filling the ring. It's like, that's not a wedding ring. And you can see on that ring, there is an image on the ring. Oops, let me just go see. I will post it in the thing. It is a shield with a ship. So it's a blue shield with a ship in the middle of the shield. And a helmet above it, and an axe below that. But I will send a picture.
Do I recognize the symbol
You can make a
from
history
my
check.
years? My years
Yeah.
of study.
See if we can recognize it.
That's not very good.
With a 14. Now you can answer me very honestly. Where is the city that you're from?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I haven't decided.
Yeah. That's what I figured. Is anybody from... Oh no, I just realized that I've messed this up probably. Did I mess this up? No, I fixed it.
Okay, Rich, you have like a 1 in 100 chance to pick the right one.
So I will say with a 14, you are not sure, but with a 15, Ileana,
Was that-
you would know that because it's a very, very famous coat of arms. It is the coat of arms of one of the most important noble houses in Inalea, the House of Wenwe, which is
Ooh.
Owenwe, like this. And they are the ruling family of the Southern Republic, which is by Halley's Inlet in the south there.
Right. But she said she was coming towards Serentor from a different continent, right?
Yeah, she said Zelenzea, right?
Jellinger, yeah. There we go.
Did you decide to have a little pit stop in Winware on your way over?
She looks at you like very sternly. And why would I want to have a pit stop in Wenwe?
Well, clearly you've picked up a nice ring from there.
I did not pick up, and like you can tell, like you've bristled her. I did not pick up a little ring there. I was given this ring at birth, and I think that you've got just about enough information on that front.
Insight check.
Yes. Let's go.
Oh fuck! It was an 18. It rolled to a 4.
What is an insight? Oh, there it is.
Before,
Oh, that's not.
she
We
is
don't know
very,
shit.
We don't
very,
know.
very firm in her. This is not something that she wants to talk about, but she can work out that you've cottoned onto some things.
I happen to be also of the Owenwe house.
You can do a
She looks
Might
deception
I
check, right?
inquire
You can do a
what your
deception
business is
check
here?
with disadvantage.
Oh,
Having
That's a
said,
good first
I don't
roll.
know.
and that's not a bad second
Oh
roll.
wow, they're both pretty
Oh my
good.
god.
Charisma.
She looks at you. You must be a very distant branch of the family then.
Very distant. But as I understand, family has to stick together.
Look, if you want us to help you, we need to know if there's anyone in particular you have annoyed.
That I have annoyed? No, not specifically me,
Could be.
but definitely, I'm sure there are
Isn't Terry and
people. Excuse me?
Right? You know, just sibling banter because we're family. Just getting in there now. You know how I be.
She leans into you, Verity, and she like
Oh
very
goodness!
like quietly whispers,
I fall over.
"What? What?"
I get back up. Sorry, you have stopped me.
She like just presses her temple. She's just like, "Okay. I've only ever spoken to a single member of my family, so don't presume we're siblings."
We're both old.
Speak for yourself.
I do. A friend of mine recently said that I always speak for myself, and I'm taking that to heart.
She leans back. She's just, yeah.
Okay, I think I messed this interaction up enough. I'm gonna scarf her. Harmless puff.
Perhaps
Bye-bye.
we would be
Oh, those
more
puppets
able
are-
to help with this situation if you were to tell us more of who may want to do this to you. We cannot help if we do not know all of the facts. Trying to persuade her to help to tell us this stuff.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna do the
Yeah.
same.
You can do a
Yeah.
persuade.
That's 21.
21. She sighs. Well, you already figured out most of it anyway. The people who would want to harm me could do for any number of reasons. I am the what's the way of putting this in the She like sighs and she thinks for a bit. Okay, I'll just say it. My Ken is the leader, if you will, of Serentor. They are a very prominent member of the OwO family. Anybody who has a problem with the OwOs will have a problem with me because of my name. That's why I don't tell people my name, because then people don't get bothered by it. But there are magical people, like, well, I mean, I don't get told all their names, but I know that there's like one that lives in Nornbur or Sudbur, one of them. I don't remember. Nerevar I know just generally, but I don't remember if it's Nornbur or Sudbur. But apparently there's some big shot wizard who really hates my Ken. But they're like, who they are, I don't know apart from that. I've been just told to avoid it. So, but yeah. So it might be them. I don't think so. I don't know why they would. I don't know why they would know I was here, because I wasn't here. But that would be my only guess. For a specific person. But it could,
I mean,
if you managed to work out that I was Wenwei that quickly, then maybe somebody in the village didn't. Maybe somebody has a grudge.
it's certainly possible. If you're in luck, perhaps this is just some sort of magical anchor that stops anyone, and you just were unlucky.
That's what I'm thinking it probably is. But if you think that somebody's got a grudge, you know now. Although I would really kind of appreciate it if you didn't tell everybody in the village that I was, because then they wouldn't just be asking me for wishes, they'd be asking me for money. Spoiler alert. Well, actually, no. I brought enough money, but I don't have, like, bags of cash hidden here.
Well, you're asking us to go on
Well,
quite an adventure here, so maybe we should ask you for money.
Well, you can ask me for money, and I'll give you money, but I don't have money for a town. I have money for people.
do you have the ability to teleport more than just yourself? If we
Yeah, I
resolve
can do.
this.
Oh, so could you take us to
I-
Serentor? I would love to. Visit.
Yes.
Why would you want to go to Therin?
Tourism.
I
If
Yes.
you're anything to go by, it seems that the people there could tell me much that I am missing.
now that
Yes, I'd be much more interested in leaving this miserable area than money.
Also, I'd love to converse with their academics.
I would prefer you do not bring these others.
Oh, just when I thought we were bonding.
That's
the
fair.
audible deflation.
Oh,
Aw. We will discuss that if I'm able to correct this problem. It's possible that it's a larger problem than I initially think. But that can be discussed.
I love discussion.
I used to.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, we
Poor thing.
changed
Ah.
that immediately.
We ruined his love for discussion.
First people
I say
he
we.
met.
Well,
I say we.
I'm
It was
sure.
mostly me.
I'm sure the leader of Serentor would love to meet long lost kin like Verity.
Yes. Again.
I'll let you in
Yes.
on a secret, Verity. I don't think my kin is particularly interested in talking to most of their kin.
Family, eh? That's fine. I tend to talk to people whether they want me to or not. Case in point, hello.
That's very clear.
Yes, I have noticed that.
Life just like slowly rusting. Well, I'm going to try and continue to break this sigil. Do you have any other questions before?
Do you have anything you could give us to help this investigation?
Oh, like some sort of magical finder thing?
Something like
Oh,
that
that would be
would work,
great.
yes.
Actually, that'd be fantastic if you had one of them.
A portable vibe checker.
Like a
That would be
magicometer.
brilliant.
Yeah, if you could.
Yes.
I'll go see. She goes upstairs and you hear lots of rummaging around.
Oh, considering I just insulted her a minute ago, surprised how well this conversation's going.
It's because
Yes.
you weren't the one who asked.
I think she's going to come down with a fake magicometer.
I'll know if it's fake.
Point it at you and say, "No, I'm getting no reading."
Oh, they used to play that trick on me back at the university. They'd have a machine. They'd be like, "Oh, no maidens." And I was like, "Oh, my wife is dead." Crashing.
It must
Crushing,
have
but
particularly
accurate.
hurt when you had a family as proof.
They were very. My fascination with the giants did not lead me to be very well liked at the university. They wanted to know real things like
Are you
history
sure that's
and
what did
geography.
it?
Yes, must have been. I was the only one studying them, so
What did you learn about giants?
I learned a bit of their language, mainly their
Oh.
runes. I have a grasp of their ancient magical writing runes. A very mediocre grasp, but a grasp nonetheless.
Right. Did you? I had asked if you learned anything about giants, not about
Yeah,
the
the
language.
giants' magic language, rune.
Did you just learn the language?
I learned a lot about their culture as well.
Ah,
Did you know
there
it's?
we go.
Did you know the thing about giants is when they share upon a meal, it's not divided in order of strongest to weakest. It's actually divided in order of weakest to strongest. It's fascinating.
Everybody's visibly aging.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for her to get back.
Yeah. So like after a few
You've heard
minutes.
this
Miles
before.
checked out a while ago.
Yeah. After a few minutes,
He's enjoying comfy chair.
Aora comes back down the stairs. She is holding a crystal of some description. And she hands it to. Was it Ileana that asked first? I don't remember which. I think a bunch of you
Yeah,
asked at once.
I asked for it.
So, one of you were. If Ileana's fine. She hands you this, and she just says, So, okay, this is. It is quintessence, but it's not quintessence. It's like. It's the leftover bit of quintessence once the magic has left it. But if you put it near some, it will light up again. It won't. You can't use it for any magic, but it will light up in the presence of quintessence. So you should be able to
Quintessence
find
is just like any magic, right?
Yes, it's rarefied magic. It's solid magic given. It's a form of magic that's solid. Yes. So you should be able to see it, but it will. Okay, I've not tried this, but it might light up in the presence of other magic too. But I've not tried it.
Harmless puff.
Okay. Yeah.
Work.
I'll
No.
hold it up near the harmless puff.
It doesn't light up. I think that might have been too weak.
2 harmless
Yeah.
puffs. I can keep going.
No, nothing. She does just a small prestidigitation near it, and then it lights up. Oh! Maybe it's like beginner's luck.
I'll try again. Prestidigitate. Create a small trinket. Boom. And I make a little locket next to it.
So after like 10 minutes of Verity furiously casting cantrips, the
I'm now
very
slamming it with chill touch. I'm like hitting it with the crossing down. Like, come on, you bastard!
Don't attack the
tiniest glimmer of like fine, like basically the crystal just said fine, you did a magic. That's basically what it did.
Did you see that? Ileana, did you see that? I did a magic.
Can someone just cast light on it to make him happy?
He could have done that himself.
That would be cheating.
Yeah, it's like it begrudgingly acknowledges your magic.
See, I can do magic.
Right.
Everybody else, the first
Yeah,
cantrip they
I
do,
wa-
it lights up, no problem.
Yeah, I wanted to like just cast Mage Hand next to it.
Yeah,
Oh.
Wow, like beaming bright light. It's being petty.
What if I
Oh,
casted
do like
mending on
this.
it?
How are you all so talented? I've been studying this for years. Been
You wanna
getting
cast-
ready
Just keep
for.
studying, Gramps. You'll get there eventually.
You're right. I'll. All I need is to hit the books, and I pull out my spell book and I just start staring at it. There's nothing
But
written on
then-
it. I'm like, oh.
And then Ileana sort of leans into her to whisper and be like, "It's good of you to humble him."
I mean, I'm not even doing it. It's just that's the cosmos doing it. That's just a used up bit of quintessence.
Oh, then
Actually,
he definitely has a lot more to learn.
the cosmos being spiteful. Yeah. Okay. So you have your magicometer as requested. And you want to head back to Brightvale?
Yeah.
So who do you wish to talk to
Yeah.
first? Discuss amongst yourselves very quickly who like your leads that you wish to go, because I quickly have to go and sort out my cat, who will not be quiet. So I apologize, but I'll only be a minute.
You see a cat in the tavern.
Quite frankly, I don't have a bloody clue what we're
Shut the
supposed to
fuck
do
up.
here. I'm an
I
old
mean-
man.
You
It
quick,
might
you
be a
speak
good
with
idea
animals.
To go to the druid first, as we know where they are.
Oh,
That's a
they
good
could be
idea.
a
Oh
long
yes,
way
that's a
away.
good start.
Seeing
Town
as
is
Brightvale
close,
is a
so-
mere 30-minute walk,
Yeah.
we could easily head
Just
there
30
and then
minutes.
go elsewhere quicker than there.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can immediately check
Yes,
this
I
and
meant
perhaps get
after
some. Yes,
town.
yes. So as we heard, the theory was that the objects were being imported. Therefore, we should check with the dock workers to see if there has been any, well, imports of this kind.
Yeah.
Anything that stands out as strange. And if they have a storage area where they take things before moving them on, I can give it a vibe check.
I love that it's
Sounds
just
vibe
officially
check.
called a vibe check now.
I come into port often enough. It we can. I can probably find someone to talk to there.
Sounds
Intriguing.
perfect.
And if they don't, I'm
Yes.
sure I can persuade them to talk. And by persuade, I mean threaten.
And
That doesn't
There'll
then,
be no
seem
need to
particularly
threaten. I'm
ethical.
sure they will be very forthcoming with information.
I'm sure we won't need to do that.
we can see where else things.
Considering how many ships I helped more in the lead up to that storm, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm certain that threats will not be necessary.
Good.
They might not be so comfortable telling their secrets, though, considering I am a knight of the Luminous Mon, which is basically like special police for the Chancellor that's in town.
Maybe you
Oh.
don't go.
Yeah.
That can
Maybe I
be
should
very
not.
persuading, though.
It's fine. You can be the backup if anything goes wrong.
Well, the people that work at the docks are going to be working at the docks. If Plan
This
A
is
doesn't
true.
work, we can always come back because they'll still be there.
By the way, as an out of
Yeah.
character thing, I have charm person, so we can just use
that
that
would
to
help.
get them to talk.
I also
And then-
have that.
My only spell is
Well,
punch person. So.
I have friends as well.
yeah,
have-
that's a good one too.
I have daunting roar. I can frighten them. I can threaten them into talking.
I don't have much yet. But I am persuasive. I am also menacing.
And you
perhaps.
do have a calming voice.
I wasn't aiming for that, but if I do, then so be it.
The villagers didn't seem to like you too much last time.
Yes, if I approach them and they fear that my devilry is a continuation of the devilry they already fear, perhaps I best stick to vibe checks.
I mean, based on the evidence, they've basically thought that everybody who showed up to town that didn't come on a boat was devilry. So, I feel like you shouldn't take
So-
it personally.
How many people in the
starts-
party is that?
Maybe I will teach them a better way.
It's like half of the party. Devils!
What?
There's devils everywhere!
Devils.
I think
If
me
they don't
and
ride
Gino
a ship,
were
they're
already here.
devils.
Yeah, you were here. Gina was here. I think Nemeth was
I've been here a
or-
long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're unlike for other reasons.
So the plan.
I was just gonna say, Verity's like muttering to himself about not understanding magic properly, and he's going to like sort of look at the party and go, "If it's all a shame to you, I'm actually getting quite tired. I might need to turn in and study my book some more. I wish I need to learn more about magic. That's all. I need to get my rest. I'm tired. If you lovelies go on ahead without me, I'm gonna head out back to town. Out of character, I gotta go. Yes, I'm heading back to town.
Nope, fair enough.
Thank you,
I'm sorry.
Jack.
Gonna continue muttering as I go. Like, there's got to be a way. I need to learn more. I disappear down the hill, and then you're like, as I fall and like break hurt myself a bit, and I keep on going.
All this falling over probably doesn't have many hit points to handle with this.
That's a good thing. I'm about to go rest. Hopefully, me leaving doesn't immediately fuck with your entire.
It's fine.
Yeah, well,
I'm already
We
prepared.
were gonna go back to town anyways.
You're already prepared. Wonderful. Well, thanks for DMing. And sorry, I have to leave so early.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's quite late. Sorry.
Bye bye.
Catch you guys later. Goodbye.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, we'll probably go for another 10. I mean, like I've allotted 4 hours, but I figured that today would be a shorter one because we'd be like getting to know everyone and do all these other things and like all the
Oh,
intro
goodness.
stuff. Oh,
It's been cut in half.
wait, how come you did but Wheatus didn't?
I live.
That seems
I don't-
really.
Oh well, we just shifted position.
Oh yeah, I guess a little bit.
Yeah, I've moved a little bit. I'm actually centered now, given how far over I am sat on my camera.
Okay, let's just get this done. Yeah. So what my plan is like once we've got a good course of direction, that's where we'll get to today. And then we can, if anyone has questions or chatty about the stoofs, then we can talk about like because I know that people have a bunch of their backstory stuff that they want to iron out and things like that, so we can talk about that kind of stuff as well if people want to, or we can talk about that off. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I've
Yeah,
got a clear
I-
sense of what you want to do.
Yeah. One thing I'm
I do
immediately
not have a
curious about,
backstory. I did
and
not
this
come
is a
up with
very short
anything.
question, so I think we can do it now. Are there like races that I'm seeing at the moment, things I've seen before, or is everything completely new?
Everyone that you can see now, you will have seen before. However, if you ever meet anybody who is from the Underdark, you will have never seen them before,
Sure. Okay.
or the Beneath,
Ooh.
as we call it in this world.
Mhm.
Okay, right. So the plan is that you want to go and talk to the shipmaster at the docks and see if that's where the smuggling comes in. Is there other people that you want to talk to?
If there's a warehouse of storage, I
Yeah, that
I'm
could
gonna
be
go
good.
straight there and do a vibe check.
Yeah, I'll go to the docks to chat.
As will I.
Okay.
I should not.
So we've
The,
got
We have
the
discussed
people
it's
that they
probably best
dislike
if I
can
do
go
not
to
go.
the warehouse.
Maybe get the police officer to do a survey of the warehouse. You're like inspection.
Yeah. Inspection.
inspection. Okay.
We can have
We're
a
here
look
to
at
do
that
a
together.
vibe check.
Yes.
Connie check.
Connie check. True. Okay, so let's do the vibe check first because that's the thing that requires that's just like rolling and stuff like that, and it's not the same kind of interaction. So the docks, the way that they sit below the town, there is like some shacks around there, but this is not like a trading town, so there's not a big warehouse that all the incoming trade gets delivered at. However, there is the shipmaster's house, which can be used to function as a storage in that sense.
Okay, so not much. So I'll just stand near that and give it a good old vibe check, divine sense.
Yeah, and your vibe check tells you if there is fiends, celestials, fae, or aberrants.
Undead.
Undead. It doesn't do aberrants. That's that's the
no.
Watchers. No, that's the special type of paladin. There's a
Ah.
special paladin unless you get the other stuff. So doing that, you will not get a sense in any of the like going around the docks. You won't get a sense from any of these buildings that there is any fiends, celestials, fae, or undead.
Cool.
But if you would like to do an Arcana check at the same time,
Sounds great.
you
I'm
can
having
see
a nice scan of everything. So yeah.
if you're getting a magical sense from something, you can do an Arcana check for it.
I'm not good at this.
Oh, should I also do one?
If you're looking, if you're joining in this search, then
Well,
you can do
yeah,
it.
because I'm not going to the dock.
Okay.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
doing the same.
two
thing.
of them are going there.
So
Oh
you can do
no,
an
I'm
Arcana
so
check.
bad at it.
Do you know who's not bad at, or presumably isn't bad at Arcana?
Oh no.
Yeah, it'd be the wizard. With a 6 and a 7, you're not getting.
I'm pretty good at Arcana too.
Oh, okay. Can do it too. You're not getting a sense of anything, particularly magical. It's kind of weird because, like, you're like a more magical being, obviously, life, and you practice magic, Xander, but you don't have a. You're not getting a sense specifically in these places you're
Well,
looking.
I practice divine magic, not arcane.
My magic's better. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so to the docks, to the shipmaster.
So another question I had about Magicometer. Is it
Okay.
does it only light up, or does it like change temperature or anything like that?
No, it just illuminates. It just radiates light.
It just lights up.
If you put it in the presence
Right,
of
well,
something magical.
I don't know if we ever specified what the distance was, but I guess that
Very
probably depends on how powerful the magic is.
yes, and also, you can assume from all the things you were doing because you were just doing cantrips, that you had to do the cantrip in your hand where the stone was. So basically, palm distance from what you were testing it
Right.
with.
I gotta rub the stone on it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you head down to the shipmaster's, I assume the shipmaster's house, because I'll let you in on a secret. Nobody at the docks, considering the weather, is currently out doing stuff. The docks are drenched.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And actually,
Right.
the ship that you came on, so you didn't come on a very big ship. It was kind of, it was just a two-master, like maybe 20 crew. All of the crew of the ship as well, you can only see that there's like one person on the ship, who is like a lookout, and you can maybe see a light, underneath. So there's maybe like 2 or 3 people underneath, like in the hold. But it wasn't like a big ship at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll go to
Alright.
the office.
Yep.
Okay, so you knock on the door. You hear shuffling from inside, and then quite a kindly faced, middle-aged human comes to the door. Yes, come in out of the rain.
Oh,
Like
Go
he
on
hurries away.
in.
thank you. So walk in.
I assume you have business with regards shipping, hiring ships. I'm afraid the ship will not be able to leave for some time, but I assume you wish to travel.
Actually, we've got
Uh,
a few questions.
yes, we have a few questions.
Yes, let me get the ledger out just so that we can check notes and stuff. And he goes over in this small room. It's like this is clearly his house, but like the front room has been kind of converted into somewhere where people who are coming to do shipping can deal stuff. So there's like a little desk and things like that, and he has all the ledgers behind it. It looks like a converted office space, but in somebody's house. And he goes over and he pulls them out, and there's a few chairs around that you can sit down on. Yes, a few questions as he's flicking through the pages.
Yes, have you had any strange cargo come in recently to the town?
Strange cargo. I mean, we've only had in the past month 3 ships, including this one. The previous 2, one was delivering grain and fruits from, and he flicks back a page and like checks from Capitandium is where that ship came from, and the ship before, and he flicks back another page. Oh yes, that one was. I suppose that was strange, just because it came from so far. It was from Thalia to the east. The original destination, if I check, yes, it was Larrick, but it traveled to several ports before it arrived here, and I believe it was bringing cloths and silks. It's, if I remember rightly, it was some 3 weeks ago now. But I don't think anything other than cloths and silks were left. They were taken up to the shop, Hope's Emporium. I don't know if you've been in town long. It's the general supplies and goods. most of the goods, such as cloths and materials from elsewhere, that's where they end up. Unless it's a special order for somebody in particular, and then they would deal with it privately, of course.
Did the wizard tell us when she arrived?
She said a week ago.
A week ago. Okay, so that shipment would have been here when she arrived.
Yeah.
It's quite the long journey that ship took.
Yes, no, it was quite strange. The captain was telling how they had they bought silks or brought silks originally, and then they traveled on to Gallia, and then they went through the Durnian ports, but yet somehow they still had wares to sell when they came here from Elmet, which is very unusual. We very seldom get any wares from Elmet all the way here. Quite an unusual delivery, but not unusual in the sense of anything untoward, of course. Just it's not an occurrence that happens very often. He says with a big smile.
Right, of course.
Now, if I check through the, he puts that one back, and then he's like scratching his head, and he pulls out another. It's a black book. The other one was brown, but he pulls it from a different shelf. If I check this is the unfortunate ledger. Any sightings of any ships that are wrecked or get into difficulty, we try to keep a record, even if we don't know what the name of the ship was or what it was transporting. Any goods are, of course, could wash up, and we attempt to find their owners, but obviously we're not very close to the rest of the world. So if somebody's got very lost, it's often very hard to return these goods to their rightful owners.
Of course.
And he checks through the end of the ledger. Yes, the most recent one was, it would have been 2 weeks ago. There was a vessel that very tragic case. It looked like quite a large galleon size almost. I think it was a Durnian vessel from the design and the sails, but unfortunately it wrecked on the rocks. We tried to find the wreckage the following day, but the fishermen couldn't find anything. About 2 miles out, they didn't say that they found anything. There didn't appear to be any debris, but we had a very clear sight of it. But that one's the most recent one, 2 weeks ago.
Were there any survivors from the wreck?
Well, that's the thing. There didn't appear to be any survivors or any debris of any description, or indeed any bodies washed up. It must have sunk very quickly, and perhaps everything was weighed down. I don't know. Or, of course, there's the even more unfortunate possibility that one of the creatures from the Ringular Ocean had perhaps come a little closer to shore than is comfortable, and took its
Oh dear,
prize, so
that's
to speak.
worrisome.
Yes. Well, that's been happening more often than it should lately, but I think this weather is encouraging it, if I'm honest.
Excuse me.
Yes, there's.
Yes? Oh, yes. Sort of
That-
registered what you are.
What are you saying, monsters coming up from shore?
Well, I
What-
mean,
what-
it's no secret that the Ringular Ocean is a very dangerous sea. There are great creatures that dwell within it. Leviathans, krakens, those sorts of monsters of myth. Well, those who live here know that they are not so much myth. Sometimes, very rarely, they have been known to come closer into shore. Obviously, they prefer the deep waters, and we have seen, well, there are records of ships being dragged down by great sea creatures, and if there was no survivors and there was no debris, it is possible that a creature was there. Nobody saw one that night, mind, or at least it's not recorded, so if they did not tell anybody. I do not know why they would have. We ask everybody to be quite forthright.
Is there anything in particular those creatures are known to look for? Like, attracts them to ships?
Normally a healthy crew. You know they're quite
Food.
hungry, yes. But there are some of those creatures that are supposedly drawn to more magical vessels. I know that, not that it happens as much now, but when the Inalayan ships travel northward to collect more shoal stones, they often can draw the ire of some of these creatures, but I don't know if it's just the shoal stones themselves or if it's that they're magical or they're more magical in nature. And if you would like to know what shoal stone is, you can do an Arcana or a History check.
Yeah.
I'm just avoiding history checks because it's a different history.
Yes,
But
that's very fair.
17.
No, no.
Yeah, with a
I got an
17,
18.
with an 18. Okay, yeah. So you would know what a shoal stone is the airships of Inalaya, the way that they float, their magical means of lift. It's called a shoal stone, and basically at the center of all of their ships, they have this very large stone that a magic practitioner can touch and infuse with magic, and it magically compels the ship to lift into the air. That's what a shoal stone is. It's a very large, round, like it's not sort of a boulder. It's like a multi-meter across stone that is in the center of these ships that floats. And Inalaya is currently experiencing an issue of they have apparently become a lot harder to find, specifically very recently, and it's affecting their ability to make new ships. So there's been less journeys northwards, but that's what a shoal stone is. It's the stone at the center.
And would we have any idea of if like the shoal stones might cause magical interference in any way?
Magical interference, you would have to be more specific. Like, do the vessels traveling past create some sort of magical field that interferes with the casting of spells?
Yes, things of that nature, I suppose.
I've never heard of a shoal stone doing this, but perhaps if there was somebody who was able to tamper with it, they might be able to achieve such an effect. But like I said, there has been no shoal stones delivered to Brightvale in years. It was very rare before, and it's almost never heard of now. Inalaya is very protective of the trade in shoal stones, and most of them go through Ferrier.
Wonder if that ship that sank had one.
It's a possibility. If it did, though, it would be very difficult to get to.
Yes.
I could just walk there. I may
That
have
is
passed
true.
it by when I arrived.
Can walk at the bottom of the ocean?
I was surprised by this too. But yes.
I don't think I've seen a traveler quite as distant as yourself. But yes, I've not heard of anybody. I mean, the sea elves, obviously, they can swim on the sea, and the tritons, but I've not heard of somebody who walked along the ocean floor until today. But it takes all sorts, this world of ours. I would say that if a creature did take that vessel, I would not personally recommend walking out to try and find it.
Ah, but maybe it doesn't see me as edible.
Why, are you not edible?
Less so than it might like.
Sort of frowns. Are you some sort of wizard's creation? Some animated puppet? You seem quite eloquent for such a creation.
I am no puppet.
Oh,
He is very much a person.
I wasn't attempting to cause offense. I was just unsure, but I would recommend that it might not be worth testing that theory. I will say that if you wish to speak with the fishermen who reported this, they are. Let me check that. And he goes and just checks a few lines under the entry in the book. Yeah, yes, they're Thomas Gill. I believe that they live just outside town. They have a small farm close to the forest, I believe, to the south.
Hmm. Oops.
Thank you for that information. That might prove helpful.
Yes.
Well, so you don't wish to book any travel or anything of this nature. It's simply just inquiring about incoming vessels.
Yes.
Not at
Not
this
for the time
time. It's
being.
very storming.
Well, yes, that's why I would rather assume that people weren't going to be in today. But I mean, if there's no further questions, I do have I do have a tea that's getting a little bit cold, so I would like to get back
Oh
to
dear.
it.
Then let us not keep you from it.
Yes.
Yes.
If the
Thank you for your
fisherman can
time.
tell us, if the fisherman can tell us where he believes the boat sunk, would you be willing to take a ship for us out to it?
I would not recommend any ship going out in this, but I'm sure that you could find a fisherman in need of a few coin who would row you out to it. But that would be between you and them. I would not condone it. It would be far too unsafe.
Well, good to know. Enjoy your tea.
Yes, thank you. And it shepherds you out of the back into the rain, and you hear the door like latch behind you, and you hear mumbling
Wait,
on the other side.
Wait, was that the person whose house that we went to before?
What?
The guy we thought was
What?
storing things.
Yeah, that's the
No.
fisherman, the shipmaster. Sorry.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yes, just before we go, are you
Yes.
currently holding any inventory?
From shipments. I mean, there's a
Imports.
few crates in the cellar, I believe. Yes.
Do you mind if we were to take a look at them?
Well, it would rather be an inconvenience. I would like you to roll a persuasion check.
Fantastic. I'm good at that.
Roll dice. Roll dice.
Hang on, I accidentally went off my character sheet. There you go. Fuck.
Hmm.
Fuck.
Wow. Does anyone else want to assist?
And yeah, I was just wondering if I could also give it a go.
Yeah, I'll assist.
Like,
Well,
oh, we won't be any trouble.
It'll be quick. It'll just take us a minute.
he sort of like pulls out his pocket watch, sort of looks. Oh, yeah, it's very well. He goes over to a shelf and gets some keys. And he goes down, like he goes through one of the rooms and goes to a cellar door, and he unlocks it, and there's some stairs that lead down. And he picks up a lantern and he leads you down into it. Yes. So these crates, you can have a look at them. There's 3 crates that are there.
Right.
Use the magicometer.
Yeah, I'll take out the magicometer and like sort of just move it near the crates, see if it reacts at all.
Nope, doesn't appear to react. With make a perception check actually. Make me a percept. That would be great. 12. With a 12 does not seem to react at all to any of the crates. You can also see that the tops of the crates are not nailed down.
Can I open one?
Yeah, I suppose we'll
take a
open
peek
it up,
into it?
have a peek.
So inside the crates, you can see that there is sort of like scrunched up bits of sawdusty stuff to pack things, and you can see that there is glass bottles in one of them, so like empty wine bottles that fill that one. The other one, you can see that there are rolls of cloth. If you want to do like a thorough investigation, there'll need to be an investigation check to see it. But one has cloth, one has bottles, and one has little bits of metal, like metal fittings for things like metal buckles, and so like buttons and things like that, and just lots of metal objects, but like for clothes and stuff.
Is the cloth like folded up or
Yeah.
like rolled up?
Yeah, it's in like if you went to a fabric shop, it's like that.
Yeah,
It's
I'd like
in
to
bolts,
investigate the
then.
cloth one.
Yeah. Can I like
Because they did talk
one of
about another
cloth,
ship.
unfurl one of the cloth or something and see if there's something rolled
Yeah,
up inside?
you can do an investigations to see what you can find inside it.
18.
With an 18, so the cloth is perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong with the cloth at all. But what you can see is that the way that this crate was packed, there was definitely something else in this crate that has been removed. The cloth is basically like stacked up. You know how if you make a bonfire
Yeah.
and you don't make it in the pyramid shape, you make it in the square.
Right.
Okay.
You have the hole in the middle of it. That's how the cloth
Yeah.
is stacked.
Okay.
Right.
So it's a full crate, but it has a hole in it.
Is the,
Who? I guess I'd like to ask.
Is the guy still here? The shipmaster?
Yeah, I assume he's still in
he's,
the room,
he's
right?
still there.
Okay.
Yeah. When I ask him, who
Yeah.
interacted with this cloth shipment before? Did someone purchase something from this?
No, there's not been any. We gave some of the crates to Hope's Emporium, but this one had a note attached to it. It had an owner.
Right.
I can go and.
Would
who was
you?
that?
Oh, I
If
have
you'd
to
be
go
so
and check a
kind.
name. Yes, excuse me a second. He hangs the lantern off a thing, and he goes back upstairs, and he has to rummage around a bit. Do you want to search things whilst he's not in the room?
Yeah. I want to
Yeah.
investigate
Can I
Oh, heck
anything
yeah.
else in the room.
investigate the bottle ones? Like,
Yeah, investigate the bottle
How
ones.
much of the bottles can we see? Are they like packed
Do-
down? You can only see the top, or like?
Yeah, you can see like the top row. It's like they're on like slats, so you would take out a thing of bottles, and then you would assume that there would be bottles under the bottles kind of thing. Is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Do these crates all have the same markings as if they all came from the same ship?
No, they are clearly from different ships.
Like,
Okay.
Can we see that the bottles are empty, or are they like hidden in a way?
No, the bottles are empty. Yeah, they're not,
Okay.
and they are.
And it's just the 3 crates, right?
Yeah, it's just 3 crates, and the bottles are they're like wine bottle kind of bottles. They're not anything.
Yeah.
They're not like chemical ones. Yeah. So with an 8. Oh wait, hang on. Was that the roll from before? Your roll
We
again.
have to do new investigations.
Yeah, the 18 was for the cloth one.
All right.
Got the same roll.
Wow. 12. Okay. Investigating these boxes without anybody prying into your business, you can see that the cloth one is obvious, very very obvious. There's nothing else unusual about it. The bottles, you can tell that they have been emptied. but they weren't necessarily filled with liquid. Like they don't have a residue on them, but they had something in them because they are not all like perfectly put back into these rows. The metal buttons and buckles and stuff like that doesn't seem to be anything unusual about that at all. It's just sort of filled with buttons and buckles.
Is there anything else in the room besides the crates?
I mean, there's probably a few sacks of empty sawdust or something like that. Like, there'll be a few things. There'll be some salt,
Right.
but
But don't
not
see any
really.
other bottles that
No,
might be similar to the ones in the crate.
no.
So does it look like?
Mhm.
I guess do the bottles look like completely
Hmm.
clean?
Yeah, they look like empty glass bottles. Like imagine you took your wine bottles to recycle them. They look like that, but they don't have the residue in them. They don't have labels on them actually either.
Hmm.
Do you wish to do anything with the bottles before the person comes back?
I will take
I
one
mean,
of the
I was-
bottles and show it to him. Like, do you know what this is?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we'd want to take one, but if they're completely clean, it's not much point. We can ask them about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know
Okay.
what this is / was?
Well, he comes back down the stairs, and he says, "Yes, the name of the owner of the silks was a Captain Ethria, I think is how you say that. Ethria Thistle. I think my writing is terrible sometimes. It's very hard to see. But yes, that's the name that was associated with them. I believe they were the captain of the ship that had the silk, so we didn't sort of pass it on. But the other ones, I just looked for the notes in the bottles in particular. It's very strange. We always leave a note in the records, and it's not there, so I'm not sure as to who that was. I'm afraid I can't remember. But the silks, I can at least give you a name.
Do you know if this captain is still in town?
No, that was weeks ago. They've most assuredly moved on. I don't even remember what they really looked like now that I think about it. I remember most of the captains that come through, but then most of the captains come more than once. So I deal with them reasonably regularly. And you're showing them the bottle, I
Yeah,
believe. Like,
I think we were showing the bottle.
yes, they're empty bottles. I believe that they're potentially for holding wine or some sort of spirits. Anything in particular you want to know about them?
Did anyone in town purchase some of these bottles?
I don't
Do you have any idea of that?
think that anyone's purchased them. I don't believe you can check with Hope's Emporium to see if they bought a crate of these bottles, but I know that we were holding them because there wasn't a buyer and they would just need to be offloaded. But in a few weeks, of course, you'll be able to purchase them if you wish. But we hold them for a time. It's just rude to sell things if somebody's coming back to collect them.
Fair enough.
Has anyone else opened this crate? Has anyone else had this crate in their possession before? The bottles one.
Well, not as far as I am aware. We open the crates when they arrive so that we can check what the contents is. But apart from that, no. Nobody's, to my knowledge, has opened them. Why? Is there some sort of disturbance?
Well, the bottles seem to be empty. It seems
Bit
odd
weird
me
to ship
transfer a
empty
whole
bottles.
crate of empty bottles.
You see that he's pondering. I suppose it's a bit strange to ship empty bottles, but that's how they were delivered to us. There was never anything in them, to
Are the
my
bottles
knowledge.
sealed?
Like, do they have corks in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do have corks in them, yes.
I pull one out.
Okay,
yeah.
you pull
Just
the cork
open it
out.
up.
Is it actually empty? Is it faking?
So when you shake the bottle, nothing comes out. Who's holding the thing?
I have the
Magicometer.
Has
magicometer.
magicometer.
So yeah. So you have the cork in your hand and you pull them out. Nothing pours out of the bottles.
And I like
Unusual.
Do you,
wave the magicometer around in the air near the bottle.
Yeah, make a perception check. Well, you
Got
roll
a lot of bad rolls
eights.
today.
You roll a lot
I
of
know.
eights.
I just keep getting 8s.
Yeah, no, you don't notice anything. Anyone else can roll a perception check too, with regards to the waving of the thing near the
Yeah.
bottles.
How
I
big
suppose
is the
I am
mag-
paying attention to that.
I
Where
must
is
be,
it?
because I'm
There it
holding
is.
it.
19.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, there we go.
Pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Is it
I am very
perception?
much not paying attention.
Okay, so everybody who got more than a 16, you see it's so faint. It's like when Verity was casting spells. It's so faint. But the thing lights up when you wave it past the corks.
That's the corks.
Perhaps some of the liquid has permeated into it. Someone with a
My-
sense of smell give it a sniff.
All right.
Can I
Why
ritual
not?
cast identify on one of the corks?
Yeah. So when you if you identify the corks, which is a great sentence, and I hope will come up more in D&D. What happens is you get a very, very faint magical signal, and what it is that there is almost invisible and imperceptible to the like human eye or mortal eye, sorry. But when you have your identify, they light up a bit more, and you can see that there is tiny, 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 tiny grains of magic stuck into the holes in the corks. From which you can assess that probably these bottles were filled with dust or sand. Because there's also some sand there too, but there's some that are like magical. So from the amount of stuff that's in the cork and the fact that only some of it is magical, you can presume that probably people were putting quintessence inside bottles filled with sand or dust, whatever
Smuggling
your
it.
broken up rocks that you prefer.
Yeah, I'll let everyone else know that.
Interesting.
Great. Bottles of dust. Whoa.
Bottles of dust. Do you mind if we take one of these bottles?
Well,
Rather cork.
Specifically the cork. I mean, that's the most important part.
yes, I suppose you can take the cork if you want. Why? Is there something wrong?
That remains to be seen, but we will need to look into it. Flash your badge, Garn.
Yeah, flash the badge.
Yeah, I'll say it seems some magical dust was transported in these bottles. We want to figure out why and why it was kept from you.
I hope you're not saying that this shipmaster's office was involved in some sort of smuggling. We've checked all these crates, and these crates, they did not have any magical dust inside them, as you say.
It's
I checked
possible
them
Of
someone has
course,
tried
we
to
do not
hide.
put any blame on you. More, the people who brought these here and deceived you about it.
You say there's been deception. Oh, then I'll. That's very different. Then I'll. You can see he's very like sort of upset and agitated by this. It's like, well, I'm.
It's like you did say before there was some things you couldn't recall.
Well, yes, but you can't recall every face that comes through. Like these
Just
things happen.
suggesting
Yes.
someone might have
Something
tricked you
suspicious
in some way.
has been going on with magic. First, there's the devil who just showed up from the purple magic, and now it's taken over the lighthouse. And now there's this magic dust that was in these bottles. Something odd is going on with magic here.
You believe that
I don't-
the wizard has. You don't believe that they've altered my memory. I mean, surely I would know if somebody had put some sort of charm on me. No, 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 no. But you think, well, I suppose I can't discount it. I'm not very well versed with magical defenses. I don't have any of my own, but I've never experienced anybody using such subterfuge with me in the past.
Quick,
Sorry, did you just
Ileana.
say you've had some dealings with the wizard up at the lighthouse?
Well, no, but you're saying that they're involved in this magical deception that's apparently been done to me.
I don't
Not
know.
necessarily
but
that they are
No.
involved, but them showing up may be related.
There's an awful lot of suspicious magics happening lately.
Ileana, scan this man's head with the detector.
Yeah, sure. I'll bring it next to his head.
Oh, what is this? What are you doing?
We're just checking for charms.
Yeah, so making
I'm sure this is how it
everything's
works.
I'm not even going to make you roll. The thing will not light up.
fine.
Good news, you're completely fine.
Oh my
Yes, it seemed to
my
be okay.
God, what is that? What is that device? What do you think has been done here? Do I need to tell the constable that some sort of crime has occurred?
We
I
will
wouldn't
inform
make a
him
big
if
fuss
we
about
determine
it.
that a crime has been happened.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. However, if there is anything you would that comes to mind, it would be good for you to tell it before it comes to reporting further.
Oh yes, if anything occurs, I'm going to try and remember who this other captain was. I
Do you not keep logs?
Yes, I do, but I told you that there's no note in the file. Like the paper is missing.
Oh.
Yes, every time a ship comes in, we we put it in the log, but I always write a little note so that I know if somebody comes back who they were. It's good for business to make sure that people think that you remember them. It gives you a little like a small smile.
Who else would have been
Perhaps you
working
simply
that day?
misplaced it.
Who else might have had access to this log?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm the only one. I'm the shipmaster. I'm the only one that has access. I mean, unless you're going to start accusing my wife of something.
Of course not. We would never do that.
Well, who else was working the dock on that day?
Well, that
Yes.
we
Who all
don't.
would have brought in these crates?
Well, that would have just been some of the fishermen who were working on the dock of the day. We don't keep records of that. Everybody in town helps in with that, and they get some coin at the time, but it's not something that we keep track of. But I'm sure
Is
if
there
you
anyone
ask...
you know in town with a particularly good memory?
Well, of course, the bailiff and the constable have very good memories.
Would they have been helping with that?
No.
Okay, of the people helping with the ship, who has a particularly good memory?
He thinks for a second. Well, I mean, I suppose. I mean, maybe it's because you've already put their name in my mind from before, but Thomas Gill was always one that had a good memory. But I don't want to cast aspersions. It's simply that they probably were working and they have a good memory, and you've already raised them. So
Yes, I think we should go talk to them.
Yes.
I
I don't
agree.
think. No, Tom's always been such a good. I'm sure that there is nothing in this. I'm sure that you will find no information there at all.
He may know something that can help us.
I don't think you or any of your fishermen have done something wrong here. I think
Yes.
perhaps there's something much more suspicious.
We're not accusing you of anything.
Yes.
No, we are simply trying to figure out what is going on.
I'm sure it's all completely fine. I can't help but recall the first thing I said when I arrived in this town was, "You people are very suspicious. Perhaps you should be less so of newcomers." So, maybe I was wrong.
He's just like, I'm getting very mixed messages here. Am I supposed to be suspicious of some sort of deception, potentially magical involving myself, or am I supposed to not be?
Well,
It's a good
we've
question.
I think we've cleared away the one. Because we don't think you've been charmed. There's no sign of it, according to people who seem to
Well.
know these sorts of things.
I mean,
Yes, there is
But,
no need for you to worry about any of this. We will handle it.
Does anyone want to
Yeah.
can I check for signs of charming besides using
Basic-
the thing that probably doesn't actually check?
Detect
Yeah.
magic.
I mean, you could do Arcana
Holy
if you want.
crap.
Sure. I'll get one good roll on an Arcana at some point, won't I? And it's not now.
I'm so bad at it.
sure, let's do Arcanas, why not?
I'm a dummy.
It's getting worse.
I got a 22.
It's getting worse. It's
It's
getting worse.
getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Wow. Yeah, no, you got no clues. Maybe he was charmed.
Oh.
22. Even with a 22,
Yeah.
there is no evidence of charming.
I mean, I feel like if he was charmed, any evidence would be gone by now.
What do you
Fair.
mean?
Anyway, the point we're trying to make is we're trying to look into something. We don't have many leads, so that's why we're here.
Yes. We're just trying to
That's
make sure
all.
the town is safe.
Yes, well, normally nothing.
Take anything we have to say with a grain of salt. Because
We do have some
we're
salt.
still figuring out what that.
But
No,
not
we-
magic salt.
We're not. We aren't looking for any seasonings as of yet. We'll let you know as soon as we are.
Yes, we'll go and talk to some fishers.
Yes, well, I would also, if you suspect any of the fishermen, you could also just make general inquiries at the inns. Fishermen are known to idly talk as necessary.
Oh yeah, that's probably where they'll be. Who knows? The ones that walked in there might still be there. It's only been like an hour and a half.
True.
Anything's possible.
Okay, so we're going to do. I think this is a good spot to wrap up for today. You're on your way to do a discussion, or maybe talk to the. I don't know whether or not you want to talk to Tom Gill first, or whether you want to talk to the tavern people first. But
Seems like tavern.
I think maybe we go to the tavern and we see if they know where to find Thomas.
I mean, we know where to find
Well, I
him.
did say Tom was on like a farm.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
outside
just south
of
of
town.
town.
Oh.
But the tavern is on the way.
So we're gonna be
Yeah.
talking to, in one order, Fishers and Tom Gill. So that's very, very good. As we begin to investigate what it is that's going on with this here smuggling. If there's smuggling happening, there's some clues, there's some evidence. Does anyone have any questions as we're wrapping up or anything?
We did ask about like if anyone bought the silks, right?
Yeah,
we got the name.
Hope's
the name
Emporium.
from the captain.
Hope's
That's-
Emporium,
Hope's
right?
Emporium, yeah.
That's
So
We
basically
should probably
like
check there too.
The captain is not there. We can we have the name of the captain who had the silks on board too.
yeah.
But they're probably not here.
Well, the captain that delivered the silks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the bottle captain, the note that had their name is not there.
But both shipments are a bit suspicious, so.
And there's also the wreckage
Yeah.
or lack thereof.
Which
I feel like it's.
Thomas also knew about the wreckage, so I mean we can ask him about it.
Wait, did they say you knew about the wreckage?
That's how we got his name the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that
Oh,
first said about
right.
it.
Yeah, he reported it.
Okay, so thank you everybody very much. I got all the stuff. I'll get all the preparations done for next week. Thank you all very much for playing.
Thank you
there is-
for
It was
hosting.
fun.
Yeah.
I think there's
Good job.
one thing to say.
Oh.
I guess I'm not going to be here for 3 sessions, 3 sessions. I don't know. 2, possibly 3. So I guess in character wise, my character's going to go to the person I squire for. I forgot the name.
Ooh.
Hog.
Oh, you want me to have? I don't have it to hand.
Aldrich. Sir
Yeah.
Aldrich Halimon.
Yes.
I'll just go
Aldrich-
talk to them about what's going on.
So when
And then
people aren't
depending
here,
on where everyone is at when I come back, I'll just make some random stuff up.
Probably-
I may not be
yeah.
here next week, but if I'm not here, my character's just in the tavern performing.
To get that
Perfect.
money.
If I'm not here, I'm visiting the
Perfect.
dwarves in the mountains.
very reasonable. That's what you do.
If
Oh, you're not
Wheatus
going to be
isn't here,
walking
he
out to
walks
sea
into the
again?
If I'm not here, I decided to go and find where the boat
by the
sank.
ship. Yeah. I
Fuck
don't
that
think
captain. He doesn't know
I don't
shit.
think the sunken boat's that important because it'd be so hard to get to.
I don't know. Does
But it's funny.
can magical interference traverse through water?
I don't see why it
so.
wouldn't be able to.
I don't know how magic works.
It just feel incredibly difficult to get to that for anyone except for life. So
Yeah.
And even then, it's not exactly easy. It's just
even then, it's just a chance
incredibly
that there's something
inconvenient.
there. Like, because they didn't even confirm there's any shipwreck at all that's still there. So
I'm just looking forward to the episode where Life just has to do a grid search pattern across the entire ocean floor
yeah,
It's
by
coming.
walking. And
by
looking.
walking.
It's coming.
And I think your dark vision is maybe 60 feet, so it's going to be a very close grid.
It's
Wait till I get a
coming.
high enough level, and I'll just cast daylight on him, so he just shines the sea so bright around him.
All
Just
the
this
fish.
beacon
That's-
walking through the sea.
That's not going to help you see far at all.
It's just
It's
Oh,
blinding
good.
light.
The light will reflect off of everything that's in the water. Now you'll be able to see still the same.
Yeah, it'll still be the same distance, I'm pretty sure, but it'll still be funny.
Do I even have
Oh,
dark
yeah.
vision?
Hope's Emporium was just like a place in the town, right?
It's just a shop, yeah. It's like the shop that you go if you want to buy clothes or anything like that.
Sort of a general store.
The general
Yeah.
store, yeah.
General store buying very fancy cloths.
I mean, they came in, right?
Might as well
I don't
buy it.
think I have dark vision.
You just
Probably,
wanna-
probably like a consignment store where everything gets sold.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's a hodgepodge of everything. But yeah, I will say that before next session, you will all be level 2. Before I forget, so because we do milestones, we don't do XP. So you'll be level 2, so you can do that whenever you want. You don't have to do it now. Don't worry. Not asking you to do this second.
I'll do it now. It's pretty easy.
Yeah,
Everyone
it's pretty
that will forget if they don't do it now, say I.
Well, no, it's just like because some leveling up to level 2 is exciting. Some level up is like really mundane because like people don't get the subclass until level 3.
Yeah,
Some
if
people.
you're a rogue,
Yeah.
okay, cool, you've
Yeah.
got
I'm
cunning
looking forward to
action.
level 3.
Yeah.
Hey, cutting action's cool.
I
Yeah,
know,
but
but
it's just like cool, got that.
yeah, it's not something.
Yeah, you don't get to pick anything.
You don't gotta make a decision. So. But yeah, whilst everyone's doing that, I will do a rapper upper. I'll stay in the Discord call, but I'll deafen whilst I go and say hi and all the stuff to chats and wrap up. But if
Yeah,
people have
We
questions,
can chat about some things afterwards.
Yep.
So okay, let's just do a deafen and then we'll do all the chatter with everybody else. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for doing for being here, for watching. I hope you all had the funs. If you have enjoyed yourself, we will be doing this every single Sunday going forward for I do not know how long, but hopefully a very long time. Yeah. So if you follow, it'll tell you in live and all that kind of good stuff. We also have Discord, where there is actually a resource thing for campaign material that you can go and check out. I got to make sure I say hi to everybody who showed up all through the stream because I didn't say hi to everybody going through. So hi Gragul, hi Garn. Oh, I said hi to Aquatic, Jub, Nemit, Jack, Corny, Devil did a definite article. Yeah, so all the sound lists were muted. So sorry, Devil. But so that's hello, Mundana Man. I think that's how you say your name. Ninma, hello, and everybody else. Alanis, hello. I don't think I've missed anybody. So yeah, if you're enjoying the D&Ds, helping by following is a very good thing to do. But we're going to do a raider, and then I will go back into the Discord and chat with everybody. I hope you are all doing a nice time, and thank you all for hanging out. I love D&D, so this has been a very good times. Let's go raid. We can raid Boba or we can Rose. Oh, Rose is doing affiliate party. Right, we should raid Rose. Let's go raid Rose. And we'll be live. I mean, I'll be live again tomorrow, but D&D will be live on Sundays, same time, 1 o'clock EST. So if you're enjoying yourself, come and see us then. And all that good stuff. And thank you everybody again who was here. I'm sorry I don't light up when I do this because I have to deafen in order to be able to say bye to everyone. And we have a raid message and we have a non-sub raid message. So send that on over and look forward to episode 2 of Oubliettes with Ocelots, which is definitely the name that I'm sticking with. That is the name of this D&D group, and I'm sticking with it. And perhaps we will unravel the mystery of what is going on. Yeah. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye, everybody. Bye.